Good afternoon, everybody. It's Kart Championship time again, and we're here at Fulbeck in the heart of Lincolnshire, at perhaps one of the oldest tracks that we visit. There's a rich history here, and the history will continue to be made this weekend because it's the fifth and final round of the 2024 Kart Championship. We'll be crowning our champions by Sunday afternoon, hopefully. Hopefully there won't be too much contention, can't promise you that. My name is Joe Bradley. I'll be with you all day. We're going to be bringing you the first of the heat sequences. Everybody gets 2 heats this afternoon. Alongside me is an old friend of Karting Live TV, making his debut here for the Kart Championship, is Gaz Bury. Gaz, welcome to the Kart Championship.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fulbeck.
Yes, it's a track that I've raced on many, many times. Fulbeck, fifth and final round. We've already been to Rowra. It was only last month. It feels like such a long time, but it was only last month for round 4. We were at Wardenlaw in the northeast. Before that, we went to Glannygores, and then the whole thing kicked off in 2024 at Wilton Mill. I've got to ask you guys, I know you've been keeping up to date with all the occurrences and happenings and the drama that goes on in the Kart Championship. What's the standout thing that you think you've noticed this year?
Wow. I think overall it's been the competitiveness and the ability that drivers have shown in their tactical, what would you call it?
Ability, prowess.
Yeah, just their racecraft has been brilliant to watch, especially the Comas, and the Mighty E's have been great as well.
Incredible, isn't it?
Honestly, it's been really standout compared to other bits and bobs of racing that I've seen this year.
I think I said after the Bambino race that we saw, and remember, this is for 6 to 8 year olds.
Yeah.
And I think I said, you know what, the Formula One boys need to watch this race, and they'll learn how to race, how to overtake. It's just incredible.
Yeah, the C50s at Rowra last time out in the closing, what was it, the last heat of the day, I think it was, the super final.
It was, yeah.
Just sitting there waiting, letting them take the lead and then pouncing the last minute. It's very much the old days of Valentino Rossi and Sete Gibana, if you go back that far.
And they're so young, but they've got that mentality, just the mindset.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
We're going to kick things off with our Mighty Bambinos. These are just as entertaining, and we've already had qualifying for these. Time qualifying in the Kart Championship. Just trying to find it and see who's where. Time qualifying, forming the grids for the 2 heats this afternoon. How you fare in the heats this afternoon will regulate the grid for the super heats kicking off in the morning. All brought to you live on Karting Live TV. We've got Henry Hills on the pole position. Ralph Martin, current championship leader, is alongside. Then we've got Heath Smith and Oliver Woodall on row 2. Row 3 is Jack Swong and Freddie Purnell. Jensen James Williams are next up, and then in 8th, Jack Harper, Junior Wright and Nico Mohan share row 5. Maximilian Mikalski and Frank Pearson are on row 6. Now we've got Halfie Hennell, Freddie Dye, Etienne Gardner, Summer Upton, Ollie Upton, Arthur Thompson, Chris Doshi, and then we've got Oliver Yap, Hadley Jarvis and Arthur Bath. A driver missing from this grid today is championship protagonist and E-plate winner Felix Tandy. Felix, I know you're watching. We wish you well. You had a very nasty accident there, and with a couple of broken bones, I hear. I hope you're going to get fit and ready for the Winter Series. That's what you've got to do. Do as you're told and stay still, or as still as you can when you're your age. But we wish you all the very best, Felix, and hope to see you and your dad back at the tracks of the Winter Series here at the Kart Championship. We've got a green flag, guys. We're about to go green for the first time this weekend.
Yeah, and as we get away, the first thing we notice is the fact that we're going to go through the chicane rather than skipping it for a straight run. Yeah,
usually the racing we've seen here before has us missing out this first chicane. This is the first chicane here at Fulbeck, and the field making it through, remarkably. We've got a race on.
Very tidy indeed. Nice and disciplined by everybody so far. We've already got a breakaway at the front.
Yeah, Henry Hills is our leader, and he's breaking away at least 2 kart lengths there. The number 32 is Ralph Martin, and glued to his back end is Heath Smith. So in grid order at the moment, they're already at the second chicane.
Yeah, and again, still a little bit of squabbling going on the back there, but is everybody... there's a bit of contact there. Did I just spot? I did. There's 2 cars facing the wrong way in the second chicane.
We've once again find ourselves at Fulbeck without any corner names.
Yes.
So we've had the audacity to brand the corner names here at the Fulbeck track. This is the arena section. We go left, right. and then right again. And then from the arena section, just watching the field go through there, through the left-hander at Beavers, and then across the start, finish straight towards the first chicane. I'll just take them around the track, guys, as the leader comes through. Out of the first chicane, and then it's a short run into a potential overtaking spot, I think we'll see. And this 180-degree turn, it's a very fast, sweeping hairpin of a corner, and that's called the hook.
Yeah.
And then from the hook, you head down another longish straight into a bit of a kink before the second chicane. You have to sort yourselves out before you get to that one. And then from this second chicane, short blast through the left-hander here. And this is called the elbow. The left-hander at the elbow. And then this is into Ashton's, the Ashton hairpin, named after the infamous Dan Ashton, who will be overseeing all the rights and wrongs here, as ever, in the Kart Championship. And there's another view into the arena section. So that's your corner names for the rest of the weekend, everybody. 5 minutes to go then, and across the line to complete 2 laps. And everything beginning, I was going to say staying the same. However, we've got a challenge for third.
Yeah, and a challenge for the lead as well. Ralph Martin is all over the back of Henry Hales. He's taken those 2 kart lengths straight back. His head down, he's not messing about, is he?
Did those 2 karts in third and fourth go through the first chicane, side by side?
I think they might have done.
Yeah, they've sorted themselves out. That's Heath Smith and Oliver Woodall.
Yeah.
Who
I know out on top.
There's a potential overtake coming on about here. Ralph Martin glued to the rear bumper of Henry Hales. But then behind, third and fourth, they're pairing off, aren't they? Behind third and fourth, though, Nick, if we could have a look at Freddie Purnell in fifth down, we've got a train of karts. These 4, these 2 and 2,
yeah.
This is anybody's, really.
Yeah, who is it in fifth?
Freddie Purnell.
Yep, so just looking at the time in there. It's going to be a hell of a scrap, isn't it? Because they're going to want to try and get some points on the board and possibly get to the leaders and even take a heat win this morning, or this afternoon as it is now. Now,
that left-hander there at Beavers, that's a very, very fast. Is that a complete accelerator? I mean, it is for the Bambino.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Might E Bambinos. Yeah, that's an acceleration zone. That's flat out. But look how they sort of weave around, just looking for where there is a potential overtake. None coming there, though.
No, Freddie in a 33 using the defensive inside line into the first chicane. Again, the hook, such a demanding corner, great for an overtake, because you tend to take a late apex. You wait right until the very last part of that before you hook it up to get the power down out of there. So you leave the door open initially for somebody to sneak up the inside.
And I think that's what we saw there. I saw Jack Harper just moving on the inside of Jensen James Williams. I'm not sure if that's actually stuck there, through the elbow and onto Ashton's.
Yeah, again, Freddie Purnell knows they're on him. He's defensive pretty much everywhere at the moment. Through Ashton's, still again look defensive, coming shallow into the arena or the stadium section. Yeah,
he did stay on the left-hand side, out of the arena section and towards Beavers through the left-hand sweep, and then across the line. It's still Henry Hales leading, Ralph Martin second, Oliver Woodall third, fourth is Heath Smith, and then no change for fifth down over. As they cross the line, it's still Purnell, Jack Swan, Jack Harper, Jensen James Williams. They did swap positions, and it has stayed there. Jack Harper ahead into 7th, Jensen James Williams 8th. Then we've got Junior Wright and Maximilian Mikalski rounding off the top 10 there.
Yeah, and again, you see Freddie Purnell taking the shallow line to the hook. He really is playing this one. He wants to keep that 5th place as best as he can for as long as he can. Jack Swan's not going to let him have it off that easy, though, is he? Again, look, see, centre line and down the middle of the straight there.
He is, yeah. And the thing about these Bambinos, that it's like foot to the pedal to the metal pretty much everywhere. I mean, they are having to lift, but it's all about momentum, isn't it? And if you make a mistake, and we're not seeing any mistakes, are we?
No, not yet. I mean, they're very much not seeing the kart sideways. Nobody's late into the corners, missing their braking points. All very professional so far, isn't it?
Yes, all very ordered.
Very.
Yeah, but it's kind of like with, 90 seconds remaining, and then Purnell still taking that defensive line, and then almost having a go at Jack Swan was Jack Harper, and it was as if he didn't have a choice there. The momentum was carrying him alongside.
Yeah, I say we're all very ordered, and they go 3 wide into the first chicane.
yes, all very ordered, but 3 wide. Yeah,
forever changing on the beat.
Yeah, keep it going, guys.
Again,
we are loving this.
Freddie's doing a great job of holding them all back. He's not been challenged yet, has he really? I mean, Jack's been sat there quite nicely, just can't get quite close enough to make a move on him.
I think we've had Oliver Woodall Woodhull. He's gone up into third ahead of Heath Smith. I think that was a move. We're glued to this 4-card battle, about to become a 5-card battle. Freddie Pennell, Jack Swan, Jack Harper, Jensen James Williams, and then that card just beginning to tag on to the back of that is Junior Wright and Maximilian Mikalski, not that far off as well.
No, 40 seconds on the clock though. Is he going to get there in time? It's going to be close. If he gets his head down, he might be all right. Keep it clean through the chicanes. Let these lot squabble around and lose time on their own.
What you do not want to do in this final round, Gaz, is to get any kind of DNF. So discretion is going to be the better part of valor. Doesn't matter what class of kart you're in this weekend. It's a 5-round championship, all rounds counting, and here we are into the final round already. And that's one of the highlights of the karting season, is to one of the first championships to crown its champion for 2024 will be the Kart Championship. Yes, we've got a winter series to round the year off, but more of that later. Right now, it's all about gaining maximum points, maximising your points. Ralph Martin leading the championship on 7.72. He's got quite a lead over Heath Smith. And at the moment, Ralph Martin's second, Heath Smith's fourth. So they're there or thereabouts and where they want to be.
Yeah, exactly. I think Ralph Martin's in a very strong position. If he can maintain this as well in Heat 2, God forbid nothing goes wrong at the moment, then he'll look great for tomorrow and possibly take the E-Championship trophy.
Yeah.
But again, I think there may have been a squabble for third place. I'm not sure if they swapped positions.
They
I
have.
just caught it out of the corner of my eye. That's
No, they stay the same, sorry.
They have.
Oliver Woodhull and Heath Smith crossed the line in that position. They're on to the final lap. So perhaps, Nick, we can try and find our leaders, who are Henry Hales, just coming down towards the second chicane.
They're out of the second chicane now, heading into the elbow. And there's a yellow flag in the final section I can see. So
that's them just going through the elbow there. That was Oliver Woodhull.
Yeah,
and
there
Heath
they go.
Smith.
They're heading. They've just gone under Frank on the pit entry there, and they're into the arena for the final time.
Out of the Beavers and across the line will come Henry Hales. That's the
There you go.
4-wide battle that finished this off. Quite incredible. Just waiting for our timing screen to update there, and I'm not sure it has, guys, so I'm waiting to give you the result of that one. So at the moment, I'm not sure how that finished because we had quite a gaggle of karts across the line there.
Yeah, we did. From what
was
I
that
see,
did the leaders come together there, all four?
Yeah, it was difficult to peck out who was who.
Right, I've just got an update here.
Oh,
so
okay.
Henry Hales, that took a bit to come through, didn't it? Yeah. Checkered flag flies then. Henry Hales takes the win. Ralph Martin in second. They were together, and then there was a gap of 6.7 seconds to Oliver Woodhull and Heath Smith. That 4-wide battle across the line was for fifth, and it went the way of Freddie Pennell. Jack Swan was sixth, Jack Harper seventh, Jensen James Williams eighth, and then we had Junior Wright. Maximilian Mikalski rounds off the top 10, and then the rest of your finishes are there on the screen for you. Just want to say it's a shame Felix Tandy isn't with us. I know Felix and his dad Nick are watching. I'm sure he'll be back for the Winter Series. And
absolutely.
Well done. Congratulations on taking the E-Plate result last week. I think you won a bit of PF International, actually, after that, what you saw Felix do last weekend. He was pretty unbeatable in all the sessions, not just the final, but when it came to it, he won the final by 9.7 seconds.
That is some effort.
It absolutely was. So congratulations. I was looking forward to seeing Felix running the E-Plate. I'm not sure if he would have for superstition reasons, but it would have been nice to have seen you. I know I don't need to say that to you, Felix and Nick. I know you guys wanted to be here, and hopefully we'll see you back at the Winter Series.
Yeah, that was just finishing that up on that Mighty E race. That was a fantastic defensive play out by Freddie. You held on to fifth for the whole race. Good effort, that.
Yeah, he did. He had reminded me a bit of Gilles Villeneuve in the Spanish Grand Prix in 1981.
The entire race.
He did. He had a lot of pressure, but he kept his head, didn't he, for that fifth place? He kept his head. He didn't get drawn into trying to catch the four karts in front of him. He kept very calm, kept that defensive line.
Yep.
made it very hard for anybody to get past him, and it paid off.
Yeah, it was a good defensive display. Good way to start his day, I think. Should be very happy with that.
So we have got Intermax coming out next. The Intermax class has got Max Gilman leading the championship on 756 points. He was the winner at round 2 at Glanigors. Jensen Seal has had a second place at Wilton Mill and a second place at Glanigors, and then a third place podium at Rowra for round 4. He's second in the championship on 732. SD Racing's JJ Plowman is currently third in the championship with a third at round 2 and a win at Rowra, one of SD Racing's home tracks, being from the northeast, of course, up in the northwest. Now, JJ Plowman has put the kart on pole position. So JJ Plowman on the pole, and he's got a gap of 100th of a second. That's all that's in it from Jensen Sale, who will start alongside. It'll be a rolling lap to start these Intermax karts, still being held in the collecting area. Max Gilman, championship leader, will start on the second row with Noah Jebson alongside. And then on row 3, we've got Jensen Walker and Fraser Anderson. Row 4, Harvey Bacon and Jackson Hilton. Jackson on a novice plate. Row 5, Sandro Kemp and Hugo McCluskey, with Jack Moss and Zach Hunt sharing row 6, and Eli Rideout and James Fabricius, I think is how we say that. He's with Bradley Shepherd Racing, and James will start and round off in 14th place. 14 kart grid then for Intermax. And a championship to play for, because the championship protagonists, all top 3 drivers in the championship, are in the first 3 places on the grid.
Yeah, I think getting through the first chicane is going to be paramount for all of them to make sure it's clean. They don't need any problems.
You made that sound easy, Gaz.
I know, yeah.
You made that sound easy. Just get through the first chicane.
Yeah, that first chicane is anything but. The tyre wall was right there on the inside. The barriers are in place as well, so there's no skipping the first chicane today. It's straight in, hell for leather.
It's a funnel, though, isn't it?
It very much is,
It's one line through there, ideally.
This is where you're going to get the incident, if any is going to occur. Still heading into the arena section. Just before the green flag. Who was on pole? JJ Plowman.
Yeah, that's the blue and yellow kart there. That's ST Racing's colours, John Stewart's team.
Yeah.
Alongside him, Jensen Seal. We are just coming out of the arena section and heading through the left-hander at Beavers. We will see the lights just to our left. Dan Ashton, the man in charge, if he's happy with them, he'll let them go. And he's not happy at all.
No.
You know why?
Accelerated far too early.
Accelerated far too early. I know exactly what Dan Ashton likes, and he doesn't like to see that.
And that's it. I mean, for a driver as well, especially these days, you've got the acceleration line, which is normally marked either by a line on the tarmac or a couple of cones on either side as a reference points for the drivers, so they know when they can get the foot down. Not as easy as it sounds, though. You just want to go as soon as you get on the start line.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of like you come out of that final turn heading towards the start-finish, and you get paranoid. Oh, yeah,
100%. You don't want to give any advantage away to anybody, whether it's behind you, next to you, or in front of you. You go and there you go. Here we go again, second time around. All very much uniform as they come around into, again, the arena section. You love that. It's one of your favourites.
Well, that's Ashton's, Gaz. That's Ashton's hairpin.
Oh, of course it is.
Now into the arena.
Now,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, the reason for that is when I raced here, when you come into this left-hander and then the right, it used to feel like a stadium because everybody used to be lining the barriers. Not so much now because it's you see where the Parc Fermé is now, where people used to be standing there, and it gave me the feel of like going into a stadium.
Yeah.
Here we go though. We're out of Beavers. Will Dan like it this time? He gets them, he releases them, and it's JJ Plowman on the inside. He's got the ideal into the first chicane, into and out of the first chicane. It is Plowman, and then that looks like, is that a Thule Motorsport driver behind? We'll get an idea of the number on that car.
169, I think it was Max Gilman in the 169.
Right, that explains it. Gilman all over the back of him.
Yes, it is. Where is he in the championship? He's top of the tables, isn't he, Max?
Championship leader.
He wants to lead from the front, doesn't he? He wants to get ahead of him and make sure he wins in style.
Well, these drivers, these kids are clever enough to work out in their heads as they're driving around, as they're controlling these karts, what they need going forward, not just for the grids going into the superheats, but also they're thinking about the championship. It's incredible, the brink capacity that they have, and Gilman will have worked this out. He'll have chatted with his family and his team. His team sometimes is his family, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I've got no details of who Gilman is with. He's down as a privateer, so his team or his family will have talked about that. Mum and Dad will have said, this is what we need from you. No silly moves. Because the last thing you want is a DNF.
Oh, and haven't we seen that before in racing? How many times has it come down to the last heat of the day or the last lap and something's gone off? Got a bit of a breakaway going on, Joe, at the front now. JG Plowman, Max Gilman, Jensen Sale are starting to have a bit of a gap to Jensen Walker in 4th position. All very tidy through the arena.
Through Beavers already, the leader has gone. There they are, 3 of them breaking away. That's Plowman leading, Gilman, Jensen Sale, Jensen Walker. That's the 4th place kart there, who trying to get on terms, and also Harvey Bacon trying to get on terms with them. So this 3-kart lead battle is quite shortly may become a 5-kart train. At the moment, though, it doesn't look like Gilman is making any kind of attempt at getting past Plowman. And Plowman, and of course, guys, the tyres are beginning to come in now. They've had 2 laps. So the tyres are coming on, aren't they? That's where the drivers want them to be. They're going to know where the grip is now from these cold tyres turning into warm and hot and optimised tyres.
Yeah, definitely. And this would be a point in the race now where we'll see sometimes who's running or what kind of pressures. Do they bolt away at the front because they're running slightly lower so the tyres come on faster? Are they slightly harder so they come on at the end? It's all a bit of a tactical game, but I would say currently it's about even through the top 3, possibly all the way down through the field, to be fair. There's not much in the way of time between anybody. Again,
I love that. I love that turn. I love that turn. Yeah,
there's just something about it.
Yeah, because you can just feel the cart just grips up.
Oh yeah. And there's some big mistakes there by JJ Palmer. Has that let him in?
Yes,
Max
it has.
Can go for the lead.
Yeah, but if he's not careful, I thought he might have had the line for Ashton's. But that was a mistake at the second chicane. So easy to do here. You just have to touch those curbs here at Fulbeck, and the cart it takes the wheel out of your hands. They're so high.
Yeah, they used to be higher up until about maybe 4 years ago, I think. They used to be brutal curbs you wouldn't want to touch. You'd bend axles and all sorts if you caught it wrong. But yeah, mistake by JG Plowman. Brilliant move by Max Gilman. He showed him the exit on the way out through the elbow and took the lead in a beautiful, well-timed move.
Yeah, it was. Took advantage. Now Plowman's going to have to regain his composure and get that momentum back, that timing. Yep. It's all about the timing and the flow, isn't it? It's like like a dance, isn't it, when you get into that flow of a lap. And with Gilman coming under pressure from Jensen Sale, he's not far behind, is he?
No,
and then you've got Plowman getting that composure back, and he'll be wanting to make amends for that mistake.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is with Fulbeck as well, there's not really a place where you can nip in the slipstream like a GYG or a Wilton Mill. It's all about the driver getting a good drive from the corner, and if he makes one mistake, it opens the door, a small door, but nevertheless a chance anyway for a position to be lost and gained for the other driver, of course.
And I do remember that it's so easy to be... The chicanes are all about going in on the brakes.
Yeah.
And it's where to brake and how much speed to take off before, through the right, in this case, the second chicane, through the left-hander, and then back on the power at the turning of the right-hander, and just letting the kart breathe. Sometimes you hit the curb, sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't. And again, this is what we're seeing. It's so easy to make mistakes in the almost identical but reversed chicanes here at Fulbeck.
Yep, and that's it. And I think, if anything, JJ Plowman's probably in the better position now because he can harry the other two, who then have just made a slight error, I would say, carrying a bit too much speed through the second chicane. It's bunched them all back up. JJ's in the box seat now. And hopefully, possibly, he can get himself back on terms to where he was and finish off the heat in a bit of style.
Now, just behind these three, you've got Jensen Walker, a bit of a lonely 4th place for Jensen. He's got a little bit of a gap to Harvey Bacon, who's got Noah Jepson and Fabricius for company. Fraser Anderson's 8th, 9th is Sandro Kemp. There we've got Jackson Hilton, Zach Hunt, Jack Moss for True Performance Motorsport there in 12th. Hugo McCluskey. I'm not sure how many races Hugo has had in this class, but I do recognise Hugo from Honda Cadets. So I'll be interested to find out how many races in Intermax that Hugo has had already. He's on a novice plate, so new to MSUK Racing as well. And he'll ride out. He rounds off the 14 kart field as the leaders have gone through again.
And again, 1 minute 20 on the clock. Probably 2 laps to go. The leaders have definitely bunched up now. And again, as you said before, Joe, Jensen Walker having a very lonely 4th place. But I say that actually, as we get a quick view of him behind him. Who's chasing him down? Is that Harvey Bacon still? Yeah. It's certainly come together at the front now, hasn't it?
Oh, well, you know what? It's kind of, you look at that, and we were lulled into a sense of security, as you know, like JJ Plowman was kind of, it looked in control, but then just a slip, too much curb at one of the chicanes, and the whole race was turned on its head.
Yeah, exactly.
Through Beavers now. Stay off that curb on the outside of Beavers.
So much momentum lost.
Absolutely, it just stalls you. It's like being sort of running out of air in an aeroplane and the plane just dropping. There we go, looking over his shoulder now, Max Gilman. He's aware that time is running out and it's going to be the 1 lap to go board next time by, perhaps.
And that's it. But as we said a minute ago, you know, as long as he hits his marks and he doesn't have a sloppy exit around any of the corners, there's not going to be a lot of opportunity, I don't think, for Jason Sale or JJ Plowman to get by.
Well, Gilman's had a strong year. He had a 4th in round 1, a 1st in, I'm talking about the finals here, of course, a 1st at Gleneagles, a 5th and then a 4th. And so strong positions there in the finals, in the top 5. He's never finished outside the top 5 in any of the finals. Has given him the championship lead. And as we go into this last lap of this first heat...
Oh, look at that, Max Gilman way wide on the exit there.
Didn't really disadvantage him, though.
It
Sale,
seemed to be.
Yeah, Sale didn't quite have anything to get back on terms here. They are charging down towards the second chicane now. Through the left.
Look at them move over them curbs.
The left. Yeah, you have to use the curbs, don't you?
Honestly, it's he's got a gap on him now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Actually saying that, he's broken away. A key moment as well. We're on the last lap.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, he's given himself a bit of a cushion into the arena section. He'll come out of this right-hander into the very fast right-hander, then sweeping left through Beavers.
Yeah.
And then on and greeted by the welcome sight of the checkered flag. Checkered flag flies. It is Max Gilman who takes heat 1. Jensen Sale 2nd. JJ Plowman a recovering 3rd.
Yeah.
A fastest lap of the race last time by for Plowman. However, Max Gilman on that very last lap, guys, we saw him pull a cushion, and that was his fastest lap, the fastest lap of the race there, a 47.08.
Solid effort there. That was a great final lap by him. Did just enough, didn't he, to keep away from Jensen Sale, who probably given that everything as you would do on the last lap, but I think JJ Plowman was going to be kicking himself after that little mistake. That was his then, I think.
I've always found, guys, you don't really need to talk to some drivers. They already know. You don't need to say anything.
Nah.
They know. He knows what happened there. It wasn't just a lack of pace. He's got the pace to win. He had the pace to win that heat, so I'm not going to critique him.
Oh, no,
I'll leave that to John Stewart. So we'll leave John to just go over and analyse what went on in that heat for JJ Plowman in 3rd. In 4th, Jensen Walker. Harvey Bacon was 5th. And then we've got Noah Jepson 6th, Jim Fabricius in 7th, Fraser Anderson 8th, 9th is Sandro Kemp. And then we've got Jackson Hilton, Jack Moss, Hugo McCluskey, Zach Hunt and Eli Rideout rounding off the 14-cart field. It is Micromax next. So prepare yourself for even more action, I think. And just getting our grid in front of us. And I can tell you just how many... If I can find me cursor, Gaz.
White on white, isn't it? Nightmare.
Yeah. 17 carts. 17 carts qualified. We had a couple of technicalities that has dropped Jensen Darlow and Ruben Sagu to the back of the grid after time qualifying. But the championship, look at that again. So the championship has got Alfie Mayer. A second, a first, a second, a first. That's the pattern of his season so far. He's leading with 781 points from Logan Rolfe, who's got a first, a fourth, a 7th, and a 3rd. And who do we have on the front row?
Who is on the front row? We got Logan Rolfe and Alfie Mayer.
Yes.
Imagine that, eh?
Rules reversed from the championship standings. 3rd in the championship is Benedictus Masiokas. He's got a 3rd, a 4th, and a 2nd, so he's never been out the top 5. He's on 735 points. Lewis Kirkcaldy 4th, LBJ Stubbs 5th, Lewis Herbertson 6th, Buddy Hugo 7th, then Chloe McGill, Xavier Ramsey and Jack Mellon rounds off the top 10 in the championship. The time qualifying has presented us with a grid that looks like this then. Logan Rolfe, who I had a chat to this morning. He was watching me park my car up this morning. He's a nice little talker, is Logan. He's on the pole. Alfie Mayer is alongside. So we've got the inter-team rivalry of Synergy versus Zip Kart Factory Team continues here in Micromax, and we look forward to that. Buddy Hugo and Lewis Kirkcaldy are on the second row. Benedictus Masiokas and Carter Jackson, who is a name that I've not seen before, they're on row 3. LBJ Stubbs and Jack Mellon are on row 4. We've got Lewis Herbertson and Freddie Blackshaw, who are back in the Kart Championship on row 5. Sebastian Crawford for Hunter Motorsport is on row 6 with Ronnie Faulkner. Jamie Walsh and Zach Andrew are row 7. And then we've got in 15th Travis Gidding, 16th is Jensen Darlow, and Ruben Sagu starts in 17th place. So 17 kart field. And we've got Carter Jackson, who I have seen before. What am I talking about? Yeah, he's down in 18th in the championship. And this is an absolutely outstanding show for him. He's gotten better and better as the season's progressed, culminating in a 10th place at round 4 at Rowra. And here he is qualifying in 6th place in the time qualifying.
Yeah, I wonder if it's his first season in the category, because a predominant trend that you see, isn't it, is they get better as the season comes on, as they get more comfortable with the karts.
Yes.
Tyres especially as well.
Could be.
As they do change. Yeah, it's a very strong front row we've got. So here we go then for the initial warm-up lap for Micromax Heat 1. I have to say, Joe, those clouds look a bit ominous, don't they?
Well, the forecast is for changeable conditions. We've got a race time of 7 minutes, by the way. 7 minutes and 1 lap here at Fulbeck.
7-minute heat.
Yes, it's 7-minute heat. No, I'm looking for a last lap board, Gaz.
I don't know why.
I've had a request.
Ah, I see. Not one up here then.
No, mate.
Here we go then for the arena, 2 by 2. A very strong first couple of rows we have as well, don't we, Joe?
Yeah, Logan Rolfe, Alfie Mayer, Buddy Hugo, Lewis Kirkcaldy. I'm going to continue down. Benedictus Masiokas, Carter Jackson, LBJ Stubbs, Jack Mellon. Keep on going. The whole field is very strong and very ordered. We'll see if Dan Ashton likes that. And we've got a false start. No. And I tell you why. You can tell, actually, by just listening to the engine note.
Yeah.
And if the engines are revving too high, you just know Dan is not going to like that.
No, I think they're just getting overexcited coming up the last corner and nailing it, I think. Yeah.
Throat getting a bit dry, mate.
Yeah, a little bit. Mine is.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we'll go around again.
Yeah,
calm
we'll
down
go
everybody.
around again. Yeah, I
sort
mean,
ourselves out.
You know what? The thing is, all right, as a TV presentation on this live stream, we are, we tend to focus on the championship winners, but this sport isn't necessarily about that. And there are inter rivalries all the way down the field. You know, down in 10th place, Jack Mellon will want to beat Xavier Ramsey, who's not here. So there's every chance he'll overtake him on points going into the championship and finishing. I want to finish in the top 10. I want to finish in the top 8.
And pick up a seeded number on his way.
Chloe McGill's not here. She's in 8th in the championship, and Chloe's not here. And there'll be, you can always find somebody to race, no matter where you are in the field. Doesn't matter about ability or experience. You will find somewhere to race and somebody to race with. And some of the best racing I've ever had has been for outside the top 10. Some of the best races. Still remember We are racing though, Gaz, and I think down the inside has gone the Synergy card, but I think that's Alfie Mayer, is it? That's come out on top.
Just trying to pick out his number.
It's 15,
15, yes it is. Alfie's in the lead.
Yeah, so Zip Kart win that little battle into and out of the first chicane.
Yeah, and teammates side by side on the way down to who's going to take it, who wants to challenge for the lead.
Oh, and I think that was Logan Rolfe who's come out of the second chicane in second place.
There was a bit of afters there. After you, no, after you. But they sorted themselves out. But the thing is, that messing about has given Alfie Mayer a bit of a break already.
Yeah, he has, and I think that second place kart, the number 32 of Logan Rolfe, I'm not sure he likes where his tyres are at the moment, because he wasn't as quick as his teammate was through there. The number 11, Buddy Hugo, was all over the rear end. Two Synergy drivers circulating there in second and third place.
Yeah, Buddy, who's had a great season, getting better and better as he's gone on for the 5th in Arawa last time out. We'll be looking to top that this weekend. And he's certainly going the right way about it.
So we've got Zip Kart followed by Synergy. I've got Buddy Hugo down as other, but that looks like a Synergy livery to me. And then we've got two Zip Karts behind them.
Yeah, I think possibly the same livery. Well, it is the same livery from what I can see, but
yeah, he's not down as a
racing.
Synergy driver in the entry, but we'll that sometimes happens. But at the moment, it's very much Alfie Mayer on the Zip Factory team.
Yeah, Matsiokas
Masiokas
on the back of Buddy Hugo. I'll say Billy Hugo then, my mistake, sorry about that. Yeah, a podium finish wouldn't do his championship any harm at all.
No, he's had three. Benedictus Masiokas had 3 podiums already. Third at rounds 1 and 2. He had a 4th just off the podium at round 3 at Warden Law, and then at Rowra last time out, he was second step of the podium there.
And there you go, Jay. There's that door open, as I said. The late apex offers the opportunity for an overtake, and he's done it. He's up to 3rd. Good move. Very good move.
He's got a bit of pace, hasn't he? His tyres have come on. You know, it's quite easy to see that. 2 laps completed, it'll be 3 laps completed next time by. His tyres have come on, and Masiokas now has a kart he likes, and now has a kart he's got confidence in. That's the big thing.
Yeah, he's taking chunks, isn't he, out of Logan Rolfe ahead of him. I think give him another lap, we'd be all over them. Bit of hand gesticulation there by Alfie Mayer.
Yeah, maybe he's got a team member at the side of the track there. I know they've got some sort of sign language. All these teams have sign language to their drivers. I've tried to decipher it there. It's almost like semaphore, isn't it?
Give up immediately, I think.
Yeah. All in code.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, Alfie Mayer, that is, at the leading kart through the second chicane there. And then that's Logan Rolfe, the predominantly white with the blue trim. That's the Synergy team logo. And then we've got more Zip Kart logo behind in the form of Benedictus Masiokas, then Buddy Hugo. These 4 now beginning to string out. And if anything, that's quite a strung-out field there.
Yeah, I say it is. I mean, we've got a bit of a bottle in the cork, or cork in the bottle, rather, by LBJ Stubbs in 5th place. Oh, the amount of curb they use through there.
It's you've got to use the curb. Yeah. If using the curb gives you lap time, then you've got to use the curb, and you've got to get it right. And there's some curbs on tracks in this country that you have to hit it almost centimetre perfect.
Yeah.
And if you're a centimetre out of that, it absolutely destroys the lap time.
Yeah, all over the show. It probably looks worse because there's such small karts, aren't they, compared to senior karts? So it's amplified, isn't it, the effect of hitting the curb. And the youngsters get bounced around, don't they? Oh, don't they? Alfie Mayer has pulled out a fastest lap of the race there and pulled a cushion. 50.50. Was that a drop of rain on one of our camera lenses there? I'm not saying it, Joe. Neither do I. I mean, looking to my left, there is blue skies being created. I have to say, just across to drivers left now, where they are now on the run down to the hook. Looking at the rather large puddle we've got out our window, I can see drops of rain. Bit of psychological rain on your visor for these drivers. It's certainly not heavy enough to make any difference to the outcome currently. No. Inside of 2.5 minutes for Heat 1 of the Micromax Heat, number 1. And it's Alfie Mayer, Logan Rolfe, Benedictus Masiokas, Buddy Hugo, LBJ Stubbs, Lewis Kirkcaldy, Lewis Herbertson, Carter Jackson, Sebastian Crawford. What a great drive from Seb. Sebastian Crawford on the number 16. Inside the top 10 now in 9th place. Jack Mellon then in 10th. Freddie Blackshaw just drops outside
of the top 10, and just behind Freddie is Jamie Walsh, who is also with ST Racing this weekend. Zach Andrew 13th, Ronnie Faulkner, Jensen Darlow, Ruben Sagu and Travis Giddings rounding off the 17 kart field.
Yeah, and here we go for the battle for 5th place. As I mentioned earlier, LBJ Stubbs hanging on to that brilliantly. Can Lewis Kikoda get near him? It doesn't look like it, does it? Head down, he means it. He's trying to get back up to them.
And look at that kart there. That's the...
It was like a Hunter Motorsport car.
Well, it's a Carlos Sainz CS55 just coming onto the tail end of that. And Seb Crawford didn't have a great time qualifying. However,
he's making up for it.
He is. He's got that car.
Tenfold, isn't he?
Yeah. His dad Lee with his uncle Steve as well, looking after them this weekend, I believe. And
there's definitely spots of rain accumulating on that camera
lens. They are, yeah. The wind's obviously blowing at that camera. Here they go then. A minute on the clock. And can Seb Crawford on the tail of this field of 5 karts now. It was 4 when we picked them up, guys, but it's now 5.
Yes, definitely is. We just pulled away from them, but can we see a move coming out of the hook? Oh, as I look out the window. No. Oh, hello. Somebody's just dropped off the back of that group.
That's the battle for 3rd and 4th there that we've hooked up to. In fact, that's the battle for the lead. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is the battle for the lead.
They've kind of come back together.
Still a bit of breathing room between Alfie and Logan.
Yeah.
Is he going to make that time up with 2 laps to go, I would say?
I think there's 2 laps.
Might be close, you know. Might get next lap.
It might be, yeah. They've got to come out of the arena through the left-hander at Beavers. There's plenty of time on the clock, though, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were getting a bit excited there.
I know, yeah.
2 more laps remaining then.
Too much coffee this morning, clearly.
And that looks like a change behind them.
There was I thought I saw a swap in position coming out of the hook. Again, there's a bit of 5th, 6th and 7th have pulled away. Lewis Herbertson has gone slightly backwards. He's got the attention of Sebastian Crawford all over him now. Seb needs to get by as quickly as possible so he doesn't lose touch with 5th, 6th and 7th.
And there was a move just behind these 4.
There was. But
that's where the action is at for 5th. However, look how close these 2 have become for the lead of the race.
I said he had breathing room. I was clearly wrong. They've taught me a lesson here.
Logan Rolfe, Alfie Mayer did have a gap. He was pulling out fastest laps. The fastest kart on the track at the moment is Masiokas in 3rd.
It's going to be a 3-kart scrap for the
It could well be a 3 or 4 kart scrap for the finish. They've had the last lap board now, so they know exactly what they're up to. As they head down towards the hook, Alfie Mayer looking over his shoulder. Logan Rolfe now latching onto that rear bumper as they come out of the hook and heading down through the kink and into the second chicane.
Yeah,
and they're side by side.
Very defensive, very, very defensive by Alfie Mayer.
Now then, Alfie Mayer thinking about being defensive through the left-hander at the elbow. Now into Ashton's. It can be a passing place there. You catch people unaware.
It's very brave to get through there, but we're running out of opportunities to overtake now. Put your teeth back in. Here we go.
Yeah, out of the arena then for the first time. And through Beavers, it will be Alfie Mayer who takes heat 1. It will be Logan Rolfe who finishes 2nd. Benedictus Masiokas finishes a very close 3rd. And then behind 4th place, Buddy Hugo, is Lewis Kirkcaldy, LBJ Stubbs, Carter Jackson, Lewis Herbertson, Sebastian Crawford, Jack Mellon 10th. And then just outside the top 10 is Freddie Blackshaw. And then Jamie Walsh finishes with Zach Andrew and Ronnie Faulkner right on his bumper there, with Ruben Sagu, Jensen Darlow and Travis Giddings rounding off the 17 kart field for Micromax. It's the C50 Bambinos coming next, guys, so get ready to be educated in how to race a kart.
Yeah, haven't these guys at such young age provided such entertainment? Their racecraft, from what I've seen this season, has just been exemplary, to be honest. With some great moves. Was it 3 wide at Wilson Mill?
Oh.
The scrap at Rower last time out. Great racing.
I think one of my comments was that the Formula One boys could learn a lot from these drivers, and I stand by that. Because if you do follow Formula One out there, they seem unable to actually race. And when they do race and when they do get overtaken, they just whinge into their radios, don't they? He was on the white line, he pushed me off. Watch these Bambino races. They're between 6 and 8 years old. these boys and girls.
Yeah, and they've been fantastic, haven't they? They really have.
Just phenomenal driving. Let's have a look at the... Oh, you've got it up. Well done, mate.
I have.
Noah Wicklow. He's going to be tough to beat, hasn't he? He's never been off the podium yet. He hasn't won a round, but he had a third, a second, and a third. And he leads the championship. Very, very close championship, this one. 746 points. Ollie West is next up. Now, Ollie came second at round 1 at Wilton. He won the round at Gleneagles. He dropped off massively at Warden Law with a 14th, but then he came back, bounced massively back, and took the win at Rowra. That's put him second on 738 points. Logan Hodgetts is next up in third place with a fifth, a second, a third, and a sixth. That's not a bad effort, really. Will Rainwright, who's camped out there with his dad just next to our commentary position on the start-finish straight, he won the first round at Wilton. He had a sixth, a fourth, and an eighth, and that's not too bad at all. Just outside of the top 4 in the championship, Calman Simon, he came second at the previous round at Rowra, and then behind them, Benjamin Shivart, who is currently 6th in the championship. He's had a 4th, a 20th, a 5th, and a 14th. So an up and down kind of season for young Benjamin. And the grid, Gaz, looks like that. Would you believe Noah Wicklow and Ollie West have just kind of swapped positions?
They're on the front
for
row,
qualifying.
shockingly. Yeah. So I caught a little bit of their qualifying. They were circulating by themselves.
Were they really?
Yeah. You're not going to follow the other guy, are you? I mean, you would normally, but...
Well, I don't know whether there's anything in maybe a tour, especially in a Bambino.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're underpowered. It's all about keeping the momentum up. It's all, the driver's throttle foot is absolutely hammer to the stop, isn't it?
Does it ever come up?
I'm not
sure.
I'm not sure actually. It's a good question that. If it does, or they might just check the speed with the left foot on the brake.
Yeah, possibly. Quick stamp.
So they've been released, and the green cart there that you see leading the field away is Ollie West, our pole position driver. Alongside him on the red and black cart is Noah Wicklow, and behind them the bright yellow cart is Will Wainwright with Henry Hales alongside. Henry also out in the Might E, on the Might E grid, isn't he, Henry? No, the reason I mention Henry is because he won at Warden Law. That's why I mentioned Henry.
Very, very, very biblical wet.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it?
But he did take the overall win in the final, so he's doing well here in qualifying as well with 4th. Arthur Bowers and Logan Hodgetts share row 3. Jess Bailey and Benjamin Shiver are on row 4. Row 5 is Hendrix Fallat and Nico Veslovsky. Row 6 is Calman Simon and Raith Owen. And then we've got John Stevens and Freddie Purnell. And then Max St-Hilaire, Jack Swong. 9th row is Riley Aston Wilkins and Brady Acton. And then 19 cart field is rounded off, I should say, by Santo Amico. Just coming into and out of the arena and through Beavers, it's a standing start, remember? So you might think, well, that grid's not in order. It doesn't have to be. They're going to be pulled up at the start. Their parents, helpers, mechanics will be going to their assistance and ensuring that the engines are not going to get bogged down, because you'll see them rattling that throttle, guys, and keeping the motors running.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it, Joe. I think it's actually raining.
Well, it's not going to affect these drivers because they're on the all-weather, aren't they? LeConte tyre is an all-weather tyre for just this sort of occasion. We don't want these youngsters who are 6 to 8 years old finding themselves on a slick racing tyre in wet conditions, because that can be quite dangerous. So we put them on an all-weather tyre, which is treaded. So if it does start to rain, guys, it's not going to be as... it's not going to result in the chaos that we normally have. Wicklow off the start then in the red and black cart, and it's Will Wainwright in the bright yellow cart. That gets ahead of poleman Ollie West and into the lead.
Yeah, and you could see them hopping to try and get the weight off the axle to get that cart going a little bit quicker. It didn't make a difference in the end for Ollie West, wasn't it?
Yeah, he got it away very well. Henry Hills is the 4th cart in that train. And just look at that. We haven't got just 4 carts. We've got the whole field in one continuous train. And we're already at the second chicane.
And look at the amount of curve. It's so funny to watch them, isn't it? I just can't get my head around how much they jump in the air.
into
Honestly.
the elbow and onto Ashton's. It's Wicklow, Wainwright, Ollie West, Henry Hales and Arthur Bowers. There is the kart in that 5th place. Behind them, I'm trying to see who that is. It looked like the green kart. It could be the green kart of Shivar. We'll check them as they come through Beavers then and across the line for the first time. It's 1 lap completed. Across the line, Wicklow, Wainwright, West, Hales, Bowers, Hodgetts, Jesse Bailey. It's Hendricks Fallat on that green kart. Nico Veselowski, Calman Simon, Shivar, Purnell, Jack Swong, Wraith Owen, Santo Amico up from 19th and already up to 15th for Santo. Brady Atkin, Max Hetterle, John Stevens and Riley Aston Wilkins.
What a brilliant move by Ollie West, again utilising the shallower line, the quicker line through the hook, and he takes 2nd place from Will Wainwright.
Great move there, textbook manoeuvre.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, he slides a bit wide.
Yeah.
Now, whether that was speed or a little bit of lacking in grip, I think that was mainly speed, but he's dropped off the back end now of Wicklow, hasn't he?
That's given Wicklow a little bit of room to, well, I say clear away, but well, that will change again anyway. Yeah, exactly.
Relatively.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely raining out there, guys. You can see the droplets on our camera lens.
Psychological rain, as you say, though, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's. I can't see any discernible rain clouds above us, so it's going to be that kind of precipitation in the air. What we need is a good downpour, my mother would say.
Oh, here we go. Battle for the lead, is that? Ollie West taking it. Oh, he's lost
Wicklow,
2 places.
Wicklows lost 2 places coming out of Beavers.
He must have made a mistake that we didn't quite
I'm not
catch.
sure what happened there, but it was coming out of the first chicane, I should say.
Do you remember when I said half a lap ago he's got a gap? Do you remember?
Yes, yeah. He had a massive gap, and that's gone.
Yeah, definitely.
That's gone. He's now in 3rd. He's
back
up to
second.
second.
No, he must. Honestly, I mean, the replay for the replay here.
Yeah, we do. This is what these drivers are like. This is what I mean about that's Wainwright in the yellow card. This is what I mean about these drivers. They know. I mean, the way that they race and swap positions, the way that they accommodate one another when they're racing is what impresses me.
Yeah, it's been another classic example of how good this racing has been this year by all of these drivers here at the front. And here we go again through the last corner. So he's right on his bumper now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's come back.
Is he going to go dive for the inside?
I actually don't know why we saw Wicklow drop 2 places
I can only
at this
imagine,
point last lap.
I can only imagine he lost an awful lot of ground coming through the last corner at Beavers. 'Cause 2 karts don't go by that easily coming into the first chicane.
No.
Not normally, anyway. Is he going to look? No, he's not. Ollie West holds the narrow line. Keeps Noah Wicklow back for 1 more corner at least. Will Wainwright's tucking his head down a little bit there, isn't he?
You know what? When they can make the move, they will make the move as well.
It's very definite, isn't it? They don't mess about, do they? These very young.
We saw a lot of patient driving here, but Wicklow hasn't got time to be patient, I think, because Will Wainwright is right there with him.
Yeah, I think
Henry Hales is right there with him.
And I think if they got away like they did at Rawa, I think you'd see the patient game again. But at the moment, with 2nd or 3rd and 4th right there on their tail, you can't be wasting time, as we saw 2 laps ago.
3 minutes remain then. It's 7 minutes and 1 lap for our heats. And we've got Ollie West, Noah Wicklow, Will Wainwright, Henry Hales, Arthur Bowers there. A bit of a just hanging on to that top 4. He's just beginning to drop back. Now, Wicklow went side by side almost with Ollie West.
Oh, he's side by side now.
Side by side out of the chicane. What's it going to be?
The lead. He's going to lose 2 spots. He has, hasn't he?
Oh, Wainwright,
Brilliant.
you know what? Intelligent driving there.
Brilliant.
I'm coming with you, he said.
Yeah, brilliant.
He just latched onto the back end of Wicklow and took the inside line. Now then, Ollie West has got a job in hand because he's got Henry Hales to keep back, but he's also got that now 2 karts before he gets the lead back.
That was perfect example of how to kart, that was, wasn't it? Brilliant.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean about the C50 Bambinos.
Yeah, fantastic racing.
We can all learn how to race from watching these youngsters. Phenomenal racing.
Yeah, 100%. I think Harry Howes lost a little bit of ground there. He'll get that back into the first chicane now. Just tuck his head down, I expect. There he goes. He's going to be straight on the back of the case.
Heading towards the first chicane, it's arguable whether there is an element of slipstreaming going on there. Wicklow leads into and out the first chicane.
Yep.
Wainwright now under pressure, it looks like, from Ollie West, who pulls alongside and has the inside line into the hook. He's made it stick.
Yeah, Henry Hale's not quite close enough that time to capitalise, but again, a great move by Ollie West. utilising again that shallower line. We're going to see that a lot today, I think.
Well, it's all about how they come out the chicane.
Yeah.
And then he's alongside before they even get anywhere near the... I'm not sure there is a braking area for the hook. They seem to just turn into that corner.
Chuck it in, yeah, absolutely.
Very little discernible change of speed.
No.
Heading towards the arena then for the 6th time. It'll be 6 laps completed this time by. And Ollie West now looking very racy on the bumper of Noah Wicklow.
He's lost a lot of ground though. I think Noah might have lost a bit of pace there because that's bulked Will Wainwright. Well, there was going to be space. Well, I say that, and it changes immediately.
Ollie West.
They're not going through there. He has.
Contact. And Wicklow over the back end of West there. Contact there. He hasn't lost out too much. He needs to be careful because Henry Hales is now alongside Wicklow. And Wicklow slams the door.
Very much slams the door. Has he got any damage to that rear axle? That was difficult to tell. God, look at that. Clean over the back of him, but still. Nobody's in the barrier. Into the elbow. Into Ashton's. No. Yeah, so Noah Wicklow is still in the back of this group. He's going to come back. I don't think... 1 lap to go. It's not over yet. Certainly going to try and make that ground up now. He's got a bit of clean air. He can take his own lines through here. Look at that straight away. He's straight back on the case. Straight on the back of Ollie West. And here we go into the final lap, Joe.
Wainwright has the inside line into that first chicane. Wicklow trying to go through with him and contact again between West and Wicklow. That seems to be a theme that's developing in this series.
Look at
as
that,
Wicklow down the inside of Wainwright, that contact did not create any kind of disadvantage to Wicklow, did it?
Where did he find that?
I don't know. He fired out of a cannon out of that first chicane.
Absolutely, like a rocket he come through. Look at the
and
gap
look at him. He's gone. He's gone because the cart's behind him. Who's that? That looks like Arthur Bowers now in second.
They've bottlenecked, haven't they? That chicane squabble has caused all this now, hasn't it?
And down the inside, and Ashton's has gone Ollie West. Bowers now has to fall in behind, and Henry Hills is alongside Arthur Bowers. But that's second place for Ollie West.
Oh, I thought they were going to go too wide through there then. Oh.
It's best not to. Henry Hills are going to go too wide through Beavers, or are they? Yes, they are. Bowers almost 3 wide through Beavers. Let's see how it finishes then. Noah Wicklow takes the win. Arthur Bowers finishes behind Ollie West in third, so it's Wicklow, West, Bowers. Henry Hills came through fourth, and there was...
That was some finish.
There was hardly anything between Bowers, Hills and Hodgetts.
Tenths of a second, isn't it?
Incredible. The driver that lost out the most there was Will Wainwright, who ended up in 6th place, and I'm not quite sure how that even happened. Hendricks Fallat 7th, Jesse Bailey was 8th, Nico Veslovsky was 9th, Calman Simon 10th, Jack Swong 11th, and then we had Benjamin Shivar, Raith Owen, Brady Atkin, Freddie Purnell, John Stevens, Santo Amico, Max Sendelaire, and Riley Aston Wilkins rounding off a 19 car field. Once again,
I'll go for a lie down, Joe.
A contender for the race of the month.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once again. Nick saying no, that's because we've had a Bambino C50 race for our race of the month for the last 2 or 3 months. But we've had 4, I'm told.
When the racing is that good,
well,
though,
that's
Joe,
right. It's hard,
it's hard who are we to argue?
It's hard not to.
Yeah, exactly. That was, I think, another lap of that, and that might have got Bill a bit more fisticuffed, don't you think? Because that was
enough there.
Oh, God, yeah. I can't believe Noah how much. Well, he didn't lose any time, did he? He still made a move into the hook. Unbelievable. But I think that was a bit of dishing it back, wasn't it, between the two of them?
Well, he didn't. I mean, they came together, didn't they? Ollie West and Noah Wicklow. That was what was always on the cards. They'd kind of promised that to do that to one another. We move quickly on though. Rotax Junior Primo has been if you look at the way that things have finished on the result sheet, you've got Daniel Hartley with wins in all 4 rounds. However, in round 1, it was Bella Fairclough who took the win on the road, but then had a bumper penalty, I believe, that knocked her down to, I think, 3rd. Yes, 3rd. Yeah, so she won on the road, however, came 3rd in the results. That handed the lead to Hartley. Hartley then took wins in rounds 1 and again in round 3 at Warden Law, it was Bella Fairclough who finished first on the road, but that went out on a technicality that again handed the lead to Hartley. And then in round 4 at Rowrah, Hartley took the win. The grid, though, looks very, very inviting, as we've got Bella Fairclough, who was extremely quick and has been all season, with a third, a fourth, a technicality, and then a third. So she's always been in the top 5 when she's been counted. And here she is, Bella Fairclough, on the pole position by 900ths of a second. The driver alongside her, Tyler Davis. Tyler currently 9th in the championship. Second row of the grid is Ellis Daly and Daniel Hartley. Daniel currently leading the championship by 84 points. So it's not over yet, guys, because there's 200 points up for grabs through the heats, the super heats, and the final. So all rounds count as well. So we are going to be racing right the way through until the final tomorrow afternoon. So we'll try and get a handle on the championship standings going into that final. But right now, it's all to play for. And with Ellis Daly sharing that second row with Daniel Hartley, it is going to be a cracker of a race. Oscar Zervich is 5th with Maya Simpson, who we've seen go very well. Maya currently 3rd in the championship. She's had a 4th, a 3rd, an 8th, and a 10th. And Maya, when she pulls it out, can be right up there with the best of them. Laurie McVeigh and Jake Anders are on the 4th row. Eddie Stewart's our co-commentator, remember. That will be joining us sometime tomorrow, I believe. He's sharing row 5 with Ethan Bath. We then got Zach Kane, Joseph Mills, Alex Forsyth, Lewis Gilbert. Thomas Butcher and Sophie Caldwell are on row 8. Row 9 is Oscar Pitt and Ronnie Lag. Jack Johnson and Riley Mason-Lewis. And then we've got Alfie Forrester, Ewan Stevenson. And then rounding off a 24-cart field, we've got Jensen Cook and Alex Lynn. And you've spotted something, haven't you?
I have. I've just noticed, as you scrolled through that list of grid positions, that Alfie Forrester, second on the championship, has got an awful lot of work to do from 21st.
I don't know why he, just looking there, he was a second off the pace.
Yeah, and that's it. And with
in time qualifying.
With Maya Simpson in 3rd, only 5 points behind.
Yeah,
that's massively plays to her advantage. But with Daniel Hartley leading as much as he does in the points race, would you be the type of guy that would just show him a wheel, thinking that he jumped clean out of the way?
Well,
it's tough, isn't it? Championship leader has quite a lot of responsibility.
Daniel is run by his dad Ian, and Ian will have told him, right, Daniel, you need to go out there and just, be conservative.
Yeah, circulate.
If you can say that to a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Be conservative, go for points. But Daniel will get it into his head that if he can go for a win, he'll go for a win.
And it's the only way.
He'll be looking at overtaking the carts in front of him. He's kind of only got one way to go. So Hartley there is the cart with the blue overalls and the white and blue helmet. Bella Fairclough's easy to point out. She's in the bright yellow cart. And thanks to Bella and her dad Will, she's run here by her dad William, as she is most weekends. Tyler Davis is alongside there on the front row. Now Tyler has found a good turn of speed on occasions, 14th, 8th, 9th and 8th, so he's always been in and around the top 10 mostly in this championship. We have got things underway, guys, and we are racing down to the first chicane, and it's Davis round the outside of Fairclough and into the lead, into and out of the first chicane. Hartley out in 3rd, but it's Bella Fairclough now in 2nd. The middle of the pack, though, Gaz, they were squabbling, weren't they?
Yeah, I think there was a bit of contact in the mid-pack. I had a bit more contact out of the hook there. I can't quite make out who's just slid off the circuit. Bit of wheel banging going on, but yeah, absolutely, through the middle of the pack and that chicane. That's the thing, though, isn't it? Go for the first chicane with a big amount of carts, an awful lot of talent. Inevitably, something's going to come together.
It's definitely Tyler Davis there, who's pulled a bit of a gap, who likewise, Bella Fairclough's got quite a gap to Daniel Hartley. I think that's Ellis Daly, who's latching onto the rear bumper of Daniel Hartley as the leaders come through. It'll be one lap completed then, across the line. Yeah, Davis, Fairclough, Hartley. It's Maya Simpson. That's the cart with Daniel Hartley.
Yeah, she would not be messing about.
In the orange helmet there, that's Maya Simpson.
Yeah.
And look at that, Daniel Hartley and Maya Simpson already catching Bella Fairclough. And I think, guys, as these tyres come on, they'll be catching Tyler Davis. We're going to have a 4-car battle for the lead very shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if Tyler's gone soft or a little bit A little bit less than the tyre pressures. That'll give him an early advantage. We'll have a little bit of a gap, but if Bella Fairclough, Daniel Hartley and Maya Simpson have set it up so the tyres come on a little bit later, then I think we're going to see a 4-kart scrap for the lead very quickly.
Out of the arena then. It'll be 2 laps completed through Beavers, the left-hander. Drivers just tweaking the steering there to get the karts to react to that.
Yeah.
And they are that long shot there down the straight
Great,
into the first chicane. It kind of brings the karts together. We get an idea of the gaps, and Bella Fairclough definitely catching Tyler Davis. Certainly into the hook, but not so much looking like it coming out.
And Daniel Hartley sitting there quite happily going with her. Maya Simpson's desperately trying to get her head down, as I saw coming off into the first chicane as it was. Desperately trying to get back on the front of this group.
The old yellow livery of Bella Fairclough has changed this weekend, guys. She's got a bit of white trim on there now. And look at this. We thought we were going to have a 4-car battle. We've certainly got a 3-car battle. Davis, Fairclough and Hartley have now come together. And just where is Maya Simpson? She can't be that far back. Nope, there she is.
Head down.
The number 96. And Hartley down the inside into the first chicane.
Ooh,
they're going to go side by side, and Hartley through.
I think Bella just clipped the tyre wall there as well. Is the axle straight?
That's caught her out there, and the two girls fight it out going into the hook. Bella maybe should have given a little bit of quarter there, because that cost her time there, and Hartley was clean the inside.
She's come straight back at Maya, though.
Straight back, though.
She's not missing a beat there, is she?
Now she needs to get her head down there. Maya Simpson and Bella Fairclough now need to get their heads down and close that gap to Hartley, who is now right on the bumper of Tyler Davis.
Yeah, Maya Simpson hoping to make some ground on Alfie Forrester, who's still down in 19th place currently.
Just making his way up. We have got a move coming into the first chicane, have we? No, not quite. He has to slot back in. So Tyler Davis fully aware that he's got Daniel Hartley with him. Hartley down the inside, and that was more to do with the late apex from Tyler Davis.
Yeah.
He left the door wide open for Hartley.
And that's it. And then the faster the karts go, naturally, through the categories we've got, you're going to see last-minute moves. Little jink, just like that, look brilliant.
I think Davis went to turn in, and the car just wouldn't turn it. He had a little bit of entry oversteer there, and that cost him leaving the door open. And Daniel Hartley didn't need a written invitation to go through it, did he?
He did not.
He was through very, very quickly indeed.
Was it Daniel Ricciardo says, lick the stamp and send it? That was very much.
He didn't need to send it at all there. He just stepped through.
Brilliant.
So Hartley now has to keep Davis behind as they come out the chicane, head down towards the right-hander at the hook. Yeah. And if anything, guys, I think we're going to see Hartley pulling a bit of a gap.
I think, Joe, you're probably right there. I'm not seeing Bella Fairclough make all that much ground currently on Tyler. Tyler in second, of course, behind Daniel Hartley.
She's pulling away from Simpson, though.
Yeah, slightly, but maybe a couple of kart lengths there, I would say. Not a huge amount. It's just enough for Maya to stay in touch should anything go wrong.
Let's just drop back off the two leaders. I think Hartley's pulling a bit of a gap now, Nick.
There we go, it's
so
third.
Tyler Davis, that third place battle there of Bella Fairclough and Maya Simpson, who has not got, Maya Simpson got Jake Anders. We've seen how quick Jake can be in this class as well. Now Jake is, there it is. Jake has gone very, very quick in the previous rounds. I'm just trying to find out what his results are. I can't find him.
You do that, Joe. Where? There we go. We pick up the leaders coming out of Ashton's into the arena. It gets still. Daniel Hartley's not, despite what we were just saying, he's not pulled much of a gap on Tyler Davis so far. Bella Fairclough has, it looks like anyway, she's closing in on Tyler. Starting to bunch up possibly. 1 minute 30 left on the clock.
They're coming back, aren't they?
They are slightly.
They are coming back.
I fancy Maya Simpson is just dropping back into the jaws of Jake Anders. That'll be a good scrap for fourth.
It's all equidistant, isn't it? First, second, third, fourth, if anything.
Yeah.
And then we've got Jake Anders, Oscar Zerich, Ethan Bath, Ellis Daly, Eddie Stewart, Oscar Pitt. That's your top 10.
Yeah, Bella
Fairclough.
My teeth are somewhere, Joe.
She has now got on the back of Tyler Davis, and if Tyler's not careful, Bella Fairclough is going to move and looking to make a move. We are inside the last minute of 7
Yep.
7 minutes and 1 lap, remember.
Quite clearly.
And here we go, Gaz.
Quite clearly nothing wrong with that kart after the touch with the barrier. Does she look... Oh, she thought about it. Bumper to bumper now. She can go in the second chicane. She did it earlier with Maya Simpson. It was a great move. Tricky move.
And she does.
She's done it.
Down the inside. That's
Lovely.
a textbook move.
That was great, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, just textbook. Down the inside, through the kink. And then she left her braking a little bit later than Tyler did.
The kart wasn't even out of shape, was it?
Yeah, Tyler accommodates that move. And Bella Fairclough chasing back after Daniel Hartley.
Oh, yeah.
Bella with the fastest lap of the race there, 45.19.
And they're going to
last time by.
They've crossed the line, so they're going to have another 2 laps now. Because they've just gone under the gantry. Now we've got no time on the left boards.
Well, we've got we're on the penultimate lap.
Yeah.
So that means now Bella Fairclough, she's got the fastest lap of the race.
Yep.
There was 1.2 seconds in it, as Tyler Davis now comes under a massive amount of pressure from Maya Simpson, and if he's not careful, he's going to drop to 4th behind Maya. We'll keep a wary eye on. I'm not sure Bella. I think Bella's run out of time to get onto the rear bumper of Daniel Hartley.
I think Daniel's got just enough of a gap. I mean,
1.2 last time by through Beavers. Now let's have a check on it.
As I go across the stripe for the last time.
1.5.
Yeah.
And Hartley's pulled the fastest lap of the race, 45.09.
We're coming into the hook, Joe. Are we going to see a swap? Oh, look at the curb your juice. Is Maya close enough to have a little jink into the inside? Not this time.
Not quite.
She's going to be running out of options now, though.
Remember, Tyler Davis started on the pole position. He was the quickest driver in time qualifying.
Yeah.
So he's no slouch around this Fulbeck track.
Nope.
And under race conditions, he's dropped behind the 2 championship protagonists, Daniel Hartley and Bella Fairclough, but that's all. And Maya Simpson, who's 3rd in the championship and will pull quite a chunk of points here on, and she's only 5 points behind Alfie Forrester, who's currently gained a few places up to, where is he, Gaz?
He's 18th. He's only gained 3 spots so far, but again, this helps Maya massively as Daniel Hartley takes a well-earned victory, I would say.
Yeah, that was a good drive. He started 4th, remember?
Yep.
And takes the win.
Decisive move into the hook.
Win of 1.8 seconds on Bella Fairclough there at the flag. Tyler Davis was 3rd, Maya Simpson 4th, Jake Anders 5th, Oscar Zervich was 6th, Ethan Bath 7th, Ellis Daly 8th, 9th was Eddie Stewart, and rounding off the top 10 was Oscar Pitt. The rest of the finishers there on the timing board. First of our Honda Cadet heats out next, and again in true Honda Cadet fashion, Gaz, we expect the racing to be as equal, if not better, than what we've already seen. Now then, championship-wise, it's been the White and Spain show. A different Spain to what we'll be watching tomorrow night, of course. Ed Spain, the number 72. He's qualified 8th for the Ambition team. The championship, though, is current champion Ryan White leading the championship to take what potentially is on the cards to be consecutive Kart championships.
Yes.
Can I say that, Nick? Kart championships. It is a thing.
It's convoluted, but definitely.
It is a thing. It is an absolute thing.
But yeah, as you're saying, absolutely right. He's got, 34 points ahead of Ed Spain.
Which is nothing. If he doesn't score,
that's
Ed Spain can absolutely fly by him. But when you consider round 1 at Wilton Mill, Ryan White took the final in the lead.
Yep.
Round 2 at Gleneagles, he took the final in the lead. He had a 4th place at his home track at Warden Law, but then he had a 2nd place at Rowra, which is also a track he knows well. Now then, meanwhile, in 2nd place, Ed Spain, a 2nd, a 4th, a 5th, and the last time out at Rowra, he took a 1st. Archie Cannon, 3rd in the championship on 6.99, not that far away. He's had a 5th, a 2nd, a 9th, and again a 3rd at Rowra on the podium. So Ryan White, Ed Spain, Archie Cannon, Kevin Ivanoff, not that far away. He's on equal with 6.99 with Archie Cannon, so it's equals 3rd. Ivanoff, a 17th, a 7th, a win at Warden Law, in very fine start if my memory serves, and then an 8th. Archie Loveridge is not that far away, as is Ronnie Smart, Riley Blakemore and Jack Wykes. Now then, talking of Riley Blakemore on the number 68, he's on the pole position He's done the fastest lap time here this morning and will start on pole from Ralphie Branscombe on the O plate alongside him. Second row is Ricky Junior McIntosh with current champion and championship leader Ryan White. We've then got Archie Loveridge and Kevin Ivanoff. Now, Archie Loveridge is down as a Zip Kart factory team. Kevin Ivanoff, I think, has a similar livery. So whether that is Kevin Ivanoff is with the Zip team, I'm not sure, but he certainly got the livery of. We give them another lap round.
Standing start for these guys as well? I can't remember.
Oh, you've got me now. Usually, isn't it? Honda Cadets?
I think it is, isn't it?
Standing start or is...
Yeah,
they are. Yeah. Yeah, they've just given them an extra lap to warm their tyres.
Yeah, I just drew a complete blank there. Sorry, Joe.
So you had me confused there. They had me confused because usually they come round to the grid. But I think it's probably because we've got a little bit of a splash of rain. Where was I on the grid, by the way? Let's go from 4th and 5th. So Ryan White, Archie Loveridge. Third row of the grid is Archie Loveridge, Kevin Ivanoff. Then on the 4th row, Archie Cannon and Ed Spain. Now, Ed Spain, not great in qualifying. He'll not want to be down there at 8th, and he's got a lot to do to get back on terms with Ryan White, who's a few karts ahead of him, but he want to do that. We've got Jack Wykes and Ronnie Smart next up. Noah Clark and Jane Prakash are on row 6. Jaden Patel Scott and Daniel Barton are on row 7. Dino Rowlands and Jacob Latherby are next up. Noah Clare and Ollie Knox are on row 9. Row 10, Ella Dixon and Jerry Dufficy. Then we've got Sophie Morris and Finley Thursfield. Holly Bradbury Stretton is in 23rd. Stanley Gill 24th. Reggie Dufficy, and running off 26 Honda Cadets is James Pearson.
Very heavy
and yes,
field.
Everything's all right with the world because we are having a standing start.
Lovely.
You know what? I'm a big fan of standing starts. I mean, we've come from car racing, haven't we? Which is mainly standing starts.
Yeah.
But the engine revs rise, the lights go on, clear grid sounded there in the background there.
Are they not using the front row, Joe? Is that just my eyes? No, they're not.
No, they're not, are they? No, they're using the second row of grids for some reason. I don't know why.
I just wonder if it's so you can see the board at the right angle.
Maybe, yeah, maybe that is. So we're clearing the grid of all the helpers and mechanics.
And the usual dad's race off the grid and on the grid.
Yeah. And then we'll get the red light sequence going on. The engine revs will rise, and then we'll get the brakes being released. Not so much a clutch. The 5-second board goes up. We've got the lights go on. The lights will go out, and we are racing. And from that pole position has gone the number 68 of Riley Blakemore, and he got a great start, guys, and will lead into turn 1.
Yeah, very good start. Hopping out of the seat, getting the weight off the axle again always helps.
Oh, his tyres were cold, though.
Wide.
He slid so wide in the first chicane and comes out of the first chicane almost in 5th, because that's Ryan White. 3 karts have gone ahead of him, and I think that's Branscombe, McIntosh and Archie Loveridge. We'll see how they sort themselves out by the time they get underneath us. And out of the second chicane and already down to the left-hander at the elbow, and the first 4 have pulled out a huge gap.
Yeah, I think there might have been a bit of kerfuffle going on through the second chicane, because that's a huge gap between 4th and 5th now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, into the arena section for the first time. Out of this, their first 3 absolutely together. And it is the number 33 of Ricky Junior McIntosh, who has come out in the lead, would you believe? Ralphie, I don't know. I know you're going to say it. I don't know. Ralphie Branscombe 2nd, Archie Loveridge 3rd, Riley Blakemore 4th, Archie Cannon, Ed Spain, Jaden Patel Scott, Daniel Barton, Jane Prakash, Kevin Ivanoff. Where is the number 1 Ryan White? He's through in 18th.
Well, it's something that's gone on clearly in the second chicane.
Yeah, something definitely gone on.
Looking at the front 4, though, I think Riley might have made a little mistake in the first chicane, because he's dropped off the back of these first 3 now as well. It's all kicking off here, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh. It always promises to
deliver,
entertain us, and it does. The lead battle there, almost glued to one another.
Yeah.
Ricky Junior McIntosh and Ralphie Branscombe, and then not too far away is Archie Loveridge. These 3 beginning to pull away now across the line to complete 2 laps. They've got a bit of a gap to Riley Blakemore, and then a huge gap to Ed Spain in 5th.
Yeah, massive. Clearly, whatever happened in that opening lap was really split the front of this field up, hasn't it?
Yeah, it did have a massive effect there, and no doubt about it, there was Ryan White who got caught up in it, the number 1. He qualified didn't he qualify about 6th or something? Just have to refresh my memory there. He qualified in, where is he? Where's the number 1?
He was 8th, wasn't he? I think
Fourth.
on the grid. Oh, he's
Fourth on the grid, yeah.
He's fourth. Yeah, so that's an awful lot of time.
Massive amount of time lost.
It's going to hurt tomorrow in the championship points.
Yeah, it's a recovery drive for certainly this heat. It's going to
absolutely, yeah.
It's going to knock him where he perhaps doesn't want to be in the super heats, on the grid for the super heats. He's up to 16th already.
Yeah, he's made a little bit of ground, but it's going to be very much the keeping out of trouble now, isn't it, to the flag?
Ricky Junior McIntosh, though, Gaz, he's pulled a gap of 6/10.
Yeah,
he's down as a privateer. I'm trying to make out the livery, what he's got in his cart. It's orange and white, that cart. As they go into and out of the second chicane, these three now beginning to break away. They've got an equidistant, first, second, third.
Yep.
McIntosh, Branscombe and Loveridge. Blakemore beginning
I'd say.
Yeah, he's kind of equidistance back and forth, isn't he? So
yeah, I think possibly they're coming to him rather than the other way around at this moment.
Yeah, I think so.
But again, as we've said so many times already today, that might change in a heartbeat.
So we are at the half distance point, 3.5 minutes remaining. As they come out of the first chicane, head down towards the hook. Absolutely keep your foot flat in there and just let the cart breathe out to the outside curb. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carts beginning to stagnate somewhat, and in fact very un-Honda 200 like the whole field are, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly starting to separate a little.
Can we drop back a little bit, Nick, from this this lead battle that's beginning to... We'll keep an eye on that for when it comes back together, because
here we go.
Back in, what is that, 6th or
place,
7th?
Yeah, Kevin Ivanov, Archie Cannon, Jaden Patel-Scott.
Ryan White up to 12th, by the way.
He's not hanging about, is he?
No, he's not. He's coming back. It's not going to be long before he's actually in amongst this lot that we're watching.
No, I don't think so either. Where is he? Just in the back of the shot there.
So those carts there coming out the first chicane and just using all the curb there. It's the number 56, is it?
I think it said 56.
Or 58. Daniel Barton, Jane Prakash.
So yeah, Kevin Ivanov and Archie Cannon, that was. Archie Cannon on the 42, second in this little group you can see, the yellow and black with a flash of red. Looks quite smart actually, doesn't it?
Through the Ashton hairpin, like you said, was very, very hard to pass on. That's because it's just a little bit of a squirt of throttle, isn't it, between the elbow and Ashton's?
Yeah, it really is. There's no room really, unless the driver in front of you makes a mistake in the elbow and leaves the door open, which is very rare because you'll cover the inside straight away for the hairpin. But Ryan White just in the back of the shop there again, another position. Joey's up to 11th now from 18th. He's having a great drive back through the field currently.
Through the hook and out, keeping the throttle nailed through the kink before the braking area for the second chicane. Is that Ryan White you're pointing at, Gaz?
Yeah, he's just on the front of that group of three, just turning into the chicane now. He'll be the first one out. There he is.
So here he comes then. That's the recovering number 1 of Ryan White there that we pick up. He's got a minute to close any further gap, but he's made his way up the field. I think you counted him down in 18th.
Yeah, 18th
Gaz,
and 19th
after that first lap. Yeah.
Whatever happened, which we missed.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
It split the field.
It's the Fulbeck chicanes, isn't it?
Oh, honestly, they are quite narrow because of where the tyre wall sits on the entry and through the middle of both chicanes. Really, it really does narrow it down. There's no room for an error. You can't just nip across the grass because there's the wall there.
It's almost a street circuit through those chicanes, isn't it? Because there isn't any runoff.
Yeah, in part, it really does give that feeling. It's almost like driving through the tunnel. And the circuit here, compared to some, is quite narrow anyway.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye though on Ryan's progress.
Yeah.
Here he comes out the second chicane. Just ahead of him is Daniel Barton and Jaden Patel-Scott.
Battle for 8th place, isn't it?
Jaden on the novice plate, having an absolute ball and not allowing anybody to overtake him there.
It's a brave move to go through the arena too wide.
Remember, we had a great interview with Jaden at, where were we, Nick, when we had that interview with Jaden, who's been run here by his dad. What is it, round 3? Was it Wardenlaw? It was Wardenlaw up in the West Paddock. We caught up with Jaden, who's a complete novice, first year of karting. Absolutely loving every bit of it.
Yeah.
He likes being frightened by what he was telling me. Doesn't mind the fear.
If it doesn't scare you, you're not trying hard enough.
That's right, yeah. He basically said that to me. Yeah. He's having a great race there with Daniel.
Yeah, he is.
Daniel Barton.
Quick glance over his shoulder. I don't think Daniel's going to be quite close enough.
No.
There's no real room there, is there?
Needs to keep it tidy. This is a battle for 8th and 9th.
And all the while, if they keep squabbling between themselves, guess who's coming on the back of this group, Joe?
Yeah, Ryan White's catching these two.
Yep.
And Jaden's having to. He's not sort of driving overly defensively. He's just keeping his momentum going into the final lap. Then into the chicane for the last time, and the gap at the front. The two leaders, Ricky Junior McIntosh and Archie Loveridge, quarter of a second across the line there.
Yeah, almost next to nothing. That's going to be bumper to bumper stuff, isn't it?
Let's see if we can pick up the leaders going into this final lap, please, Nick.
Here we go. Ricky Junior.
That's Ricky Junior McIntosh there at the front of those three. So the first three coming together, Archie Loveridge and Ralphie Branscombe. Loveridge ahead of Branscombe, by the way, as they come through Beavers. It will be the checkered flag being waved on the starting gantry, just to the right behind the timing board. And the finishing order then for the first heat for the Honda Cadet 200s. Ricky Junior McIntosh takes the win. He didn't have it all his own way, though. A lot of pressure from Archie Loveridge, finishing in second, getting ahead of Ralphie Branscombe, who finished in third. Riley Blakemore was fourth. Ed Spain, not great, not be happy totally with his qualifying effort, but that's a fifth place recovery drive for him. And then Kevin Ivanov sixth, Archie Cannon seventh, Jaden Patel Scott did keep Daniel Barton behind him for eighth, Barton ninth. Ryan White recovered from 18th to 10th after that first lap. I think it was first lap, wasn't it? Fracas. Jane Prakash was 11th. Then we got Jacob Letherby 12th. The rest of the finishers there on the timing board. We've got the last of our round of Heat 1. It's Junior Max out next, and that is a championship that this year has been all about the driver who won last year's championship, and that is Kasper Tomilewski. Do you want to give us an idea of what the championship looks like, Gaz? I forgot your name there. I was about to call you Nick. I'm allowed to do that.
Habits. It's well, we have to say it's been a great showing by Tomilewski so far. Second at round 1, a first at round 2, 7th in round 3 at Warden Law, but then the weather was quite something, wasn't it? And a second last time out at Arawa in what was a great scrap in what was it, in Heat 2, I think, when the KMS boys came through the field. And
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. James Kell, second place, 715 points. He's done quite well so far. He's got better as he's gone along. 7th, 2nd, 1st and a 9th. Oh, he's got better as he's gone along. He gets a 9th last time out. What am I talking about?
Well, that was it, Rowra.
Oh, yeah, true.
It's a tricky track.
It certainly is. Addington Smith in 3rd, 711 points. And a bit of a gap to 4th in Charlie Very, who is 677 points, not 700.
But look where Charlie, who's with ST Racing, a team and driver from the northeast, a second place at Warden Law, a first place at Rowra. They're his local tracks that he knows.
It doesn't show, does it?
No, yeah, that's quite apparent. That I mean, not too bad. An 8th at Wilton Mill and an 11th at Glanigore.
That's still reasonably good when you consider the size of the field that we've got here. That's good. It's consistent, isn't it? But yeah, Harry Hurstgrover in 5th. He's a little bit off, but not out of touch. He's had a good season. A 4th, a 7th, a 6th, and a 14th. So a good-ish almost.
But good points haul.
Yeah, definitely. Very consistent.
And keeps you up there. I mean, he's 5th. And again, it's not necessarily, about who's going to win the championship. It's about where you're going to finish. And I'm sure Marcel Popical in 6th will want to overtake Harry Hurstgrover ahead of him. Callum Gosh in 7th will want to finish ahead of, potentially Marcel and Harry Hurstgrover. And it's all about that. It's all about those internecine battles that are going on all the way down the order. And with... how many karts have we got? 22 karts qualified. The grid will look like this. Have a guess who's on the pole position. It's no surprise. The man who's dominated, well, I'm going to say dominated, has been very, very competitive for Cato Motorsport for the past 2 years as Kasper Tomaszewski, and that continues here at Fulbeck. He did 7 laps in qualifying, and he put the kart on pole position by 0.08 of a second. Andrew Dixon is the driver that is behind Andrew, 9th in the championship. He's alongside Callum Gauche and Marcel Poppicle. They are beside one another in the championship, 6th and 7th. So that's a right little battle that's going to ensue there for 3rd and 4th. ST Racing's Charlie Very shares row 3 with James Kell. Then we've got Braith Murdoch and Oliver Fabricius on row 4. Emily Cooper and Lewis Summer are on row 5. Then we've got Lewis Holt and Gregor Reed on row 6. Row 7 is Harry Hurst Grover and Aidan MacDonald. Row 8 is Riley Morgan and Leighton Kelly. And then we've got Max Hollor and Archie Doherty on row 9. Row 10, Elliot Foster and Aston Brown. And then we've got Molly Pugh and Joshua Jarvis on row 11 and rounding off a 22 kart field. So it's all about who can beat Tomaszewski. And he can be beat. He was beaten at Warden Law. He was beaten at Warden Law by James Kell. He was beaten at Rowra by Charlie Very. But if he continues to finish second, then he's going to carry off another championship. And this is another example, just like Ryan White can do in cadets, in the Honda cadets, I should say. Kasper Tomaszewski can take consecutive championship honours.
But it's also good and well said, that, isn't it? But as we just saw in Honda Cadets, Ryan White, championship leader, involved in a fracas. It could all change come the end of the first chicane. I think Tomaszewski's probably quite handy at that.
Fulbeck chicanes. When anybody says to me, Fulbeck chicanes, I just think carnage.
While we wait for proceedings to get underway, I presume we're waiting for the clock to run down so we're on time.
Yeah.
Emma says, good luck to my boy, Harry Hurst Grover. Harry is starting.
He's down in 13th. He's currently 5th in the championship on the number 2. He's the current vice champion, carrying the number 2. So he finished second to Kasper Tomaszewski in last year's series. And Harry, where did I say he was? Yeah, 5th. He's on 6:57. So he could. You know what? If everybody ahead of him didn't score, he could finish. He could win the championship. You know, but I'm being realistic here. So he's looking for. He's going to be a seeded number, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's going to finish seeded. And so another good season for him.
Wouldn't you want a number 4 in your kart as opposed to a number 5?
Yeah, and even better a number 3. And that's
yeah.
what it's all about. I mean, Tomaszewski won the championship, but he carries the 220, and that may be. You know, there's a lot of drivers who.
It's everywhere now, isn't it, Joe? I mean, MotoGP, motorbikes in general.
Did Lewis Hamilton start that trend of not carrying the number 1?
Possibly in Formula 1, yeah. It's when they opened it up, wasn't it, to carry your own number.
Carry your own number.
Yeah.
Change your helmet colour every week.
Oh, yeah. Sebastian Vettel style.
I'm old-fashioned, mate.
Oh, yeah, me too. But we are underway on the warm-up lap. This, again, is a rolling start.
A little bit of digression now. I should have kept this for the Mighty. I'll repeat this, but Felix Tandy was ready to carry the E-plate this morning. His dad's just sent me a picture, and he's even more sad watching it. I'm sorry, Felix, but what's more important, mate, is that collarbone heal. So no jumping off tall buildings or anything for the next few weeks.
That is a huge shame, but
it's a shame not to have you here. But we all miss you, and we wish you well.
Absolutely, yeah. And collarbones are a horrible thing to break.
Oh, don't make it any worse for the kid.
Oh, yeah, true. I used to ride a bike. I used to cycle a lot, so
he'd be fine.
Oh yeah,
he'd be fine. He's only 7.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. My 4-year-old grandson's got his arm in a cast from the elbow. Broke his elbow. Oof. You wouldn't think his arm was in a cast. He's running around like a lunatic. That's what they do. Here we go then. Total of lunatics. We've got the junior Rotax out, and they're about to go racing. Will they please, Dan Ashton, and get things underway? They have indeed. And it's Tomaszewski on the inside there. The Cato Motorsport driver gets beaten by the X-Kart driver. And I think, who is that that's gone round? It's Andrew Dixon who got by him. He started alongside, and Tomaszewski looking like, have we got a bit of slippery track there? Or is that just cold tyres, guys?
I'm
not
that's
quite
cold
sure.
Tyres. These Mojos can be a bit finicky. The opening lap normally is a bit sketchy, but they'll be on because they're Mojos.
Yeah.
They'll be on by the end of this lap, and they'll be off and ready.
Yeah, it's not raining fully, and just the way that Andrew Dixon and Kasper Tomalewski just couldn't get the car to turn in. They were fully four-wheel drifting through and out of the chicane and also around Ashton's and through the arena. They're still struggling, but you can see the grip beginning to come, can't you?
I mean, who doesn't like watching karts slide around like that? That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Charlie Verey's up to fourth.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I see a move in the background.
Yeah,
Charlie Verey in the blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow there. Oh, and there's a move from Marcel Popperkull looking down the inside of his Cato Motorsport teammate there, almost causing him a bit of a surprise, but Tomalewski
thought better of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But Tomalewski knows he's there now.
Yeah, and that's it. Will he make a move? I don't think that he'll hesitate.
Well,
we'll
these tyres are beginning to come on. So you've got X-Kart in the lead from Cato Motorsport, ST Racing fourth. That's your team order. The drivers are Dixon, Tomalewski, Popperkull, Charlie Verey from Callum Gulch now in fifth.
Yeah.
Here they go across the line. Sixth place, Braith Murdoch. Oliver Baricius is in seventh. Emily Cooper eighth. James Kell ninth. Lewis Sumner is the driver that rounds off the top 10.
Joe, swap for the lead.
Oh, we've got
just taken the lead off Andrew Dixon again.
How many
shallow
times?
Line.
How many times have we seen that? The tyres come on and Tomalewski makes the move.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be it now. He'll be looking to get his head down and if he can, give himself a little bit of a break, bit of breathing, and what a lovely
the inside,
move.
Popperkull.
Now that was opportunistic.
It was. We were seeing how difficult it is to overtake at Ashton's.
And he made it look like it was,
he made it look
super easy. Absolutely, yeah.
Well, it kind of was because he fired out at the elbow, and it's clear to see where those Cato Motorsport tyres have been set.
Oh, yeah.
And Andrew Dixon on the X-Kart, his tyre pressure is perhaps not quite the same, and if he's not careful, he's going to be very much under pressure from Charlie Verey on that yellow and blue kart.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're probably going to see a little bit of a break between the two KMS karts now. As you say, Joe, if the tyres have just suddenly come on, because we've seen them both overtake on the same lap within metres of each other. And that was a great block pass, wasn't it, into Ashton's, which is where we are now.
Yeah, and there's somebody coming on the inside of Verey.
It is. It's out Callum Gulch.
Yeah, did he make a move, or did Verey hang on to it? I think Callum Gulch has lost out to Fabricius.
I think he has. I think there's a loss of momentum there.
I'll just clarify as they come across the line, and your first four are Tomalewski, Popperkull, Dixon, Verey.
Yeah, you're right, Joe.
Yep, Fabricius ahead of Callum Gulch now. Murdoch, Cooper, Kell, still Lewis Sumner and Harry Hurstgrover just outside the top 10 and 11th.
Do you know what I've just spotted as well in the junior Rotax? That massive bump coming out of the first chicane there. I hadn't noticed that before in the other categories.
No. Didn't see that. We'll check that out next time by.
But shenanigans coming out of the hook I just saw further down the field.
Four leaders coming together now. Very close together, almost bumper to bumper. Bumpers touching through Ashton's. Bumpers front and back coming very close through Beavers. It'll be 6 laps completed. The fastest driver on the track at the moment is Marcel Popperkull. Popperkull there with the fastest lap, 45.09 last time by. Oh, that bump there, yes, on the outside.
Yeah.
So you can't use all of that road, or else you hit that bump. It's one to avoid. Gives a place a character, I think.
Oh yeah, you need a bit of circuit feature, don't you? That's great, isn't it?
Here they come into elbow, the elbow, as we've called it.
Yeah.
And then the Ashton's hairpin.
Oh, he's on the back of Popperkull's rear bumper there. Of course, drop penalties or drop nose penalties do apply in the junior road tax, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. What do we mean by a nose penalty? Well, if you hit the kart in front of you hard enough, the front nose cone, like you can see on these karts, are attached to the front bumpers, attached in such a way that they have a release mechanism if you hit them hard enough, and that's to avoid people deliberately contacting the driver ahead of them.
Yeah.
And if your bumper is dropped off, the mechanism releases the bumper and it drops down and it flops around. And when you are scrutinised at the end of the race, you will immediately get a 5-second non-appealable penalty. Yeah. If your bumper's dropped down the inside of Tomalewski has gone Marcel Popperkull. He's done that twice now, Gaz.
That was fantastic. Look at that. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, that, isn't it?
Out of the left-hander at the elbow, and then he just keeps on that right-hand side and goes last driver to break for Ashton's. So with inside the final minute, it'll be the 1 lap to go board next time by, so 2 laps remaining, and it's Popical leading from Tomilevski. Then we've got Andrew Dixon and Charlie Very.
I'm just wondering if Tomilevski's quite happy just to sit there, but winners never do they?
Well, he might do, he's got a championship to win as well.
Oh, how wide was Popical there, though?
Yeah, very wide. That's going to allow Dixon and Very in. And who's the two
together
joining in as well? Fabricius and Braith Murdoch. Oh, we are too wide coming out of Ashton's.
Was that Andrew Dixon going for the move in second place?
It
Did
was.
he get it? I was looking at the rest.
Where's Charlie Very? Charlie Very's lost about 3 places there.
Yeah, there was a bit of squabbling going on behind those as well. I think they were too wide, and Charlie, unfortunately, was on the outside of that and got shown the grass.
Right, 1 lap to go. Popical, Tomilevski, Dixon, Fabricius, Braith Murdoch, Charlie Very down to 6th, Emily Cooper, Kell, Gorge, Harry Hurstgrover into the top 10.
Defensive line being taken by a few of the drivers there. They know what's at stake now, don't they?
Now remember, guys, this will be the last final of the season coming up tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
And if this first heat is anything to go by, do not leave your grandstand seat or your armchair watching this on the live stream, because it's going to go down to the very end here with
Absolutely.
this field of juniors.
Yeah, it's honestly, as we'll be on now, this is the last call now, isn't it?
Yeah, through Beavers.
It's Marcel Popical takes the victory, and
by a second.
He was, well deserved. 2 great moves into Ashton's. Tomilevski finished second. Andrew Dixon comes home in third. Oliver Fabricius, Braith Murdoch, Charlie Very, Emily Cooper in 7th. Great drive by Emily. James Kell, Callum Gosh, who lost an awful lot of time, didn't he, somewhere? He was, from 4th, I think, at one point, down to 9th. Harry Hurstgrover rounds up your top 10.
And fastest lap of the race for James Kell. It's my eyes. Yeah, 44.71, came on lap 7.
Do you need your glasses, Joe?
So, no, I just couldn't line it up there from the right-hand side of my screen to the left. Yeah, my eyes went a bit crossed there. That rounds off Heats 1 for all of our classes. We start straight away with the Might E second heat for them coming up. It's the same duration, 7 minutes and 1 lap.
So that junior Rotax, that shot by, didn't it? That was fast and kinetic. Oh, I need to stand up, Joe. I've got backache.
Yeah, I did. I just have.
Oh.
It does you well. It does you good. So it's the same grid order as we had for the first heat. The grid order being sorted by time qualifying. And just to remind everybody, the grid order for the Mighty Bambinos, which will be released from the collecting area, allowed round onto the start-finish straight. They're on the LeConte treaded tyre. They're exactly the same chassis tyres as the C50 Bambinos, same age group as well, 6 years old to 8 years old. Phenomenal driving. The difference with the Might E's is the fact that they are electrically propelled. So there's no noise, which is a bit disconcerting, really. There's no noise, but they perform in exactly the same way over a lap. The lap time that they achieve is pretty much exactly the same as what you will see in the C50 Bambino. However, the way they achieve that lap time it's slightly different. They race really well. We've had some fabulous racing. Exactly the same sort of racecraft needed as you will see in the petrol engine versions of these Bambino karts. But the word on the street, or the word on the street of the streets of the paddock in the Kart Championship is that these karts are pretty much plug and play.
Yeah, I think.
No messing around.
No.
With ambient temperatures and pressures and barometric pressures for jetting and carburetor adjustment. It's plug and play.
Which is great, isn't it? If you're new into the sport and you're looking to bring children in, it's a great level playing field. Very easy, like you said, to get the kart ready and run. It's ironic, isn't it? Because you said about Nick Townley and Felix, didn't you? Nick having his limited information on the karts initially.
Limited time is what Nick said. He doesn't have the time. I mean, Nick Tandy is obviously a works Porsche driver in the IMSA series, and recently at the Le Mans 24 Hours. So he's travelling. He's a professional race driver. So ideal for Nick, who can come home, plug and play, adjust the tyre pressure. Doesn't stop him pouring over data, mind.
A professional race driver, would you expect?
Yeah, I just want to mention there, I got a message from Nick. As we know, Felix, we're sorry to not have you here, but Nick was blown away by the attitude in the paddock. Unbelievable. Whilst they were at hospital getting Felix looked at for that broken collarbone, the paddock, the Mighty paddock teams and parents, they fixed all of Felix's damage on his car. They changed his tyres, charged his battery, ready for today, just in case Felix could come back today. However, it was worse than we thought, and he's fractured his collarbone, or broken his collarbone. So they weren't, but Nick completely blown away. A little bit different to the IMSA paddock. I'm pretty sure the IMSA paddock wouldn't pile in and repair his 963 Porsche, but there you go. It's a little bit different here. And that information from Nick Tandy there just epitomises, I think, the attitude from the Kart Championship. The rivalry is intense. I chat to a lot of people in this paddock, and the rivalry is mega intense. But there is this kind of a family feel. There's always a family feel in motorsport of a travelling circus family. Yeah. But I think that epitomised the attitude of everybody. Everybody wants to see Felix out there. Everybody wanted to see the kid back in the race today, if it was at all possible. And so while his parents were out, getting him sorted out, they set to and got his cart and prepared it and ready readiness for today. Just tremendous attitude.
Outstanding performance by everybody involved in that, I think. It's unheard of now, isn't it, in some cases in motor racing. It's great to see the paddock come together like that.
Yeah.
To get a driver, at least, if he's ready to race, back out on the track. And
that was
fantastic.
That was the objective, wasn't it? They just wanted to see the lad race. And it's not just about seeing that, though. I think that would have happened in any of our classes. And we see that in a lot of karting paddocks, to be honest. I mean, I know karting paddocks can be a bit of frightening places at times. But, we do see that across the sport. This is the, entry-level motorsport. This is where all the champions began. They all started in karting in various classes and what have you, all the way to the very top. And it's just, again, great attitude. We've got the Mighties there ready to be given the go-ahead to be released. And then we'll see the parents and helpers making their way onto the grid because it's a standing start. Just to remind everybody what the grid looks like, we've got Henry Hales and Ralph Martin sharing row 1. Heath Smith and Oliver Woodall are on row 2. Row 3 is Jack Swong and Freddie Purnell. Row 4 is Jensen James Williams and Jack Harper. Junior Wright and Nico Mohan are on row 5. Then we've got Maximilian Mikalski, Frank Pearson, Alfie Hennell, Freddie Dye, Etienne Gardner, Summer Upton and Ollie Upton. Arthur Thompson, Christian Doshi, Oliver Yap, Hadley Jarvis and Arthur Bath. Now then, we will just have a look and remind ourselves of how things finished in Heat 1. I need to call you Nick again. I'm going to be doing that all day, aren't I?
I think so. I'm much better looking now, obviously. Surely you can tell the difference.
So... Yeah, but I'm not looking at you when I'm talking to you. Yeah, if I'd see you, yeah, your beard's much longer than his. We had Henry Hales take the win in Heat 1.
Absolutely nothing between them there, was there?
Nothing
finish
at all.
Line, was it?
Yeah, 800ths of a second.
Nothing, is it?
Ralph Martin, Oliver Woodall and Heath Smith finished next up. And it was quite a spread out field, actually, behind the two leaders. Oliver Woodall, Heath Smith, Freddie Purnell, Jack Swong, Jack Harper, Jensen James Williams, Junior Wright, and it was Maximilian Mikalski who rounded off the top 10 in that first heat.
Yeah, it was Freddie Purnell, wasn't it, in the defensive masterclass, 5th position, I think.
We have got
21 karts. Strong field, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Very strong field.
I mean, there was a lot. There was about 28, I think, at Rowra. And remember that the Mighty company, Johnny, who we had a chat to at Rowra in the paddock walk, and introduced the Mighty Cadet, which is the step up from. Yeah. And they just need to go through a bureaucratic process to get them sanctioned by the MSUK. And you know what? Fingers crossed, we might even see an electric-powered cadet class in the Kart Championship next season.
Yeah, as soon as that.
And again, this plug-and-play kind of style of karting is something that I would be unfamiliar with, because there was always lots of things to adjust, and with engines and
the F100
jetting
styles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots to play around with, wasn't there? Across all.
Look at the way that young Mister.
Ralph Martin.
Young Mister, is that Ralph Martin, the number 32 in the green cart?
Yes,
there?
sir.
Yeah.
He's, I haven't seen that for a long time, that type of positioning.
Yeah, he's kind of positioned his cart at 45 degrees to fire himself straight towards.
He's on pole. Oh, it is a side-by-side.
He's got it to the angle to the right. The red lights go on, the red lights go off, and the number 32 just slots in behind the pole driver and slots in across to the right. You saw him dive there across to the right, and he consolidates that second place, then moves out to the left to give himself a bit of room. But into and out the first chicane they come.
Yeah, a good clean start by everybody. Everybody's through the first chicane again, which is nice. A couple of moving shakers down the middle there. Did I just see?
Probably. That's gonna continue all the way to the flag. We've got a string of 22 carts there
currently, yeah.
But pretty much nose to tail through the second chicane, through the elbow. Now has gone the leader, and it is Henry Hales that leads into Ashton's for the first time.
And I'm not going to make this mistake of saying the same thing again. He's got a bit of room, because we know that will change instantly.
Very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's the nature of the track here at Fulbeck. Through the arena here, everybody seems to concertina up through the left and then the right, through the two right-handers, and then through that sweeping left, which we've called Beavers, after our series organiser Darren Beavers, and then into the first chicane they come, and
there you have it. They've closed up straight away, haven't they? Ralph Martin now looking for a way around Henry Hales, sorry.
Yeah. Behind the two leaders, the order is Heath Smith third, Oliver Woodall, Jack Swong, who put in the quickest first lap there on to complete lap one, Jensen Jim Williams, Jack Harper Jr. right, Nico Mohan, and Frank Pearson is the driver that rounds off the top 10. We've got 5 carts beginning to break a little bit of a gap. They're strung out. They're not exactly glued to one another, but they are breaking away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Jack Swong on the back of this one, chasing Oliver Woodall. I can't say, they just bunch up so quickly, don't they? All of a sudden there's a gap and then there isn't.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, they kind of lull you into a sense of security. Cause,
they really do.
So if I say to Nick, Nick, and I'm not saying this, Nick, but if I say to Nick, who's producing today, he'll be back tomorrow on the commentary. But if I say to Nick, just drop away from these two, the next thing, I'll look underneath us and they'll be nose to tail, as they are now.
Yeah, quite literally side by side into the hook. There we go. There you are.
They've sorted themselves out. Yeah.
Yeah, Heath Smith.
That's more of a variation of opinion on what line to take through the hook, wasn't it?
It almost seems like it doesn't matter, doesn't it? In some ways. Again,
he's side by side.
Yeah, as he.
Oh, we've gone down 2.
Yeah, as Heath Smith has dropped from 3rd to 5th. He must have lost an awful lot of momentum to do that. Again.
Yeah. That's the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah,
and it's not over yet.
Again,
side by side.
Are they really going to go side by side through here? Oh, he's thinking about it, He's
not
giving it in. No, he's bottled it.
It closes very quickly on you.
Yeah, that tightens up very quickly, and before you know it, you're staring at a tyre wall.
Here they come then to complete what will be 3 laps. They're already across the line. Henry Hales, Ralph Martin, Oliver Woodall now in 3rd, Jack Swong 4th, Heath Smith 5th, Jack Harper, Jensen James Williams, Junior Wright, Nico Mohan, Frank Pearson, Mikalski, Freddie Dye, Alfie Hennell, Etienne Gardner 14th.
And Ralph Martin all over the back of Henry Hales. Differentiated lines coming into the hook there, trying to find any type of advantage to take the lead away from him.
Oh, now it's getting a bit naughty at the front there, with the two leaders beginning to perhaps lull us into a thinking that there might be a challenge coming. Ralph Martin just moved out of that slipstream. Whether or not that was effective.
Yeah, Henry going defensive into the elbow already. We've only got 3 minutes to get. Well, I say we've only got 3 minutes. We've only had half a race.
Yeah,
but
the 7.5. 7 minutes, isn't it? So 3.5 minutes is the half distance.
Yeah.
And the it's not long, but it is when you are racing side by side across the line.
Yeah, and here we go into the
700ths, and that's the move.
Oh, Henry thought about closing the door on him and realised Ralph's already there.
And Henry Hales wasn't quite sure he was there, was he?
No.
And I think as they come out the chicane there, he wasn't quite sure he was there. I think we're going to see a change when we go back to live.
Quite possibly.
And it's still Ralph Martin leading. Yep. They look on side by side through the kink towards the second chicane.
Yeah, Ralph extremely defensive. Is he going to keep the momentum, come out the other side? Yeah, he has done.
Henry Hales wants this lead back, doesn't he?
He really does.
Yeah, and Ralph Martin.
Oh, he's carrying so much speed, isn't he?
Looking over his shoulder there, and he wasn't there. That's because he was over his left shoulder.
Yeah, he was. Other side.
Into the arena. Turning right again. Acceleration zone for these Bambinos. And they'll stay flat through Beavers. And they will complete 5 laps. Ralph Martin leading the race this time by. Henry Hales second. Heath Smith back up to third, would you believe? Heath Smith just outside of this battle for first and second. Got back up into third. Woodall fourth. Jack Swong now down to fifth. Jack Harper sixth. And it's Jensen James Williams, Junior Wright, Nico Mohan and Frank Pearson still your top 10.
Yeah, I think the battle for third is starting to rage on now. We've got a minute and a half to go. It's probably going to be another 2 laps once they cross the line again. Or 3 laps now, in fact, if I can count properly.
Yeah, it's hard to judge. With
see.
Lap times of 62 seconds, the leaders space themselves out again, just showing us his nose, and then coming back at him through Ashton's. They're side by side out of Ashton's, are they? Not quite enough side by side, and they have to sort themselves out before they turn left and then right into the arena. And then they're side by side through the second part of the arena. And are we going to see a change of lead? We are indeed, as Henry Hales, with an audacious move in the arena, finds himself in the lead.
Where did he pull that from? That was fantastic. Absolutely nowhere, that, wasn't it? But again, are we going to see another swap coming into the hook? Because Ralph's not giving that up at all, is he? Henry goes defensive.
Nope, side by side again. Yeah. A different line. And they'll go side by side out of the hook towards the second chicane, will they? It's the green cart of Ralph Martin and the blue and orange cart of Henry Hales. And it's Henry Hales who leads into and out the second chicane.
Yep. Again, lap after lap, we're seeing this little squabble at this part of the circuit, aren't we? Coming out the second chicane. All hit defensive into the Ashtons hair.
Oh, look at that. He slid very wide, did Hales. That's allowed Martin alongside, but they'll sort themselves out into the arena. Hales leads into the arena.
Is Ralph Martin going to try and do the same as what?
No, he didn't quite have the momentum this time around. And it's the 1 lap to go board this time by. Final lap, says the Digiboard.
So much happening at the front end, isn't there? The battle for third is still going on.
There's so much happening behind these two as well. Because that third, and we've got a spinner there in that, but 2 spinners into the chicane on the last lap. Not quite sure who they are. We'll not be able to decipher that, guys, until they cross the line at the flag.
Yeah.
The leaders heading down towards the second chicane now through the kink there, and a little bit of a defensive line into the second chicane from Henry Hales. And using a defensive line towards the elbow as well.
Yeah, hugely defensive there, isn't he? He's going to go defensive into Ashton's as well. He does, you know.
Doesn't affect his momentum, though, on these Bambinos.
Oh, look how wide he's gone, though. That's let Ralph Martin straight back on him, hasn't it?
Now, the arena, will we see Ralph Martin getting alongside through this part of the arena? No, we're not. He's going to have to follow him through Beavers.
Oh, it's going to be side by side across the line.
Is it going to be side by? No, not quite. It's not. Henry Hales will take the second heat from Ralph Martin in second.
And then
how did that finish? Heath Smith and Oliver Woodall, third and fourth.
There we go. That was 0.08 of a second for the second time today by these two. Unbelievable.
Yeah, great racing from these two at the front. And then fabulous racing behind them.
Yeah.
Heath Smith, Oliver Woodall, Jensen James Williams up to fifth. Jack Swong sixth. Junior Wright seventh. Eighth was Jack Harper. And I'm trying to fathom out who it was that we had spin at that first chicane. Was it Mikulski? No, Mikulski's been in 11th.
Yeah, it was difficult to see. I thought I saw a flash of a 7, so that could have been Jack Swan,
Nico Mohan, maybe.
Nico Mohan, yeah, either. Or even Jack Harper on the 57, but a bit too far away from the camera to pick that one out, I think.
There's your finishing order on the timing bar, and that concludes the round of heats for the first day of this fifth and final round of the Kart Championship. We're at Fulbeck in Lincolnshire. Very historic track here, guys. They've been racing here since when, did you say?
1959 they have been.
Wow, that's as old as Nick.
Is he that young, is he?
Yeah. He's just stepped out as well.
That's why you got away with that one,
missed
isn't it?
That one, hasn't he?
Yeah, ex-RAF station, of course. RAF Fulbeck. Harked back to the war, and it's been karting ever since 1959.
So the American Air Forcemen brought karting here, did you say?
Yeah, well, so I think if I can recall correctly, when the base closed in 1948, I think, they just started going around hangars and circles, much like NASCAR. So it kind of evolved from there.
Sorry, I misread that. So it wasn't American Air Forcemen that started karting here. The American Air Force moved out in 48.
Yeah, and I think the base closed. The base closed in 48, I think, like that.
They raced karts around the hangars?
Just round in circles, because why wouldn't you? Obviously.
Yes, yeah.
So, it evolved from there. It turned itself into a kart track, and here we are today.
And there's a
Fulbeck Kart Club.
There's a lot of tracks like Fulbeck. I mean, the first track, one of the first tracks that I raced on back in the day was Felton up in Northumberland, and that was very, very similar to this. Yeah. It was one of the old runways, and it was like up one side and through a chicane and a hairpin at the top, and then down the other side, which is very similar to the first part of the track here. Shennington's another one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Little Rissington. Is Rissington
an
airfield circuit?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm pretty sure it is as well.
Google Maps will tell me the answer to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of... That's how circuits have grown in the UK, though, isn't it?
Silverstone is a former airfield circuit, isn't it?
Thruxton still is an airfield circuit.
Thruxton is still an airfield.
Yeah.
Castle Coombe's an airfield circuit. Croft was.
Yeah.
Croft was an airfield.
An awful lot of heritage in our nation's sport.
Say that again, Nick.
Cadwell
Park was not an airfield, no. Too many undulations. We've got the Intermax field released.
And a bit of a slow
We'll get the championship up in a moment, but for now, JJ Plowman for ST Racing on the pole position from Jensen Sale. Max Gilman and Noah Jebsen are next up. Then we've got Jensen Walker, Fraser Anderson, Harvey Bacon and Jackson Hilton, Sandro Kemp and Hugo McCluskey. Is that Stewie Stretton?
Yeah.
Jack Moss for True Performance Motorsports in 11th. Then we've got Zach Hunt, Eli Rideout and James Fabricus. How they finished in Heat 1 is something that I'm just going to find out for us. It was Max Gilman, of course, who took the win from Seal and Plowman, with Jensen Walker, Harvey Bacon, Noah Jebsen rounding off your top 6. So an interesting first heat for this class, with championship leader Max Gilman taking top honours.
Yeah, followed across the line by Jensen Sale, wasn't it? It was after JJ Plowman's smallest of errors, but
that's right. Yeah, the chicane, wasn't it?
Still came home in third there.
Fulbeck chicanes.
They are evil.
Yeah. Here we go then. Will they please Dan Ashton, who will release these karts if he likes the way they come towards him? He's on the starting gantry and he will get things underway. He does indeed. The clock starts, and that's JJ Plowman on the bright yellow liveried kart there, into the lead, into and out of the first chicane, and already down towards us at the hook.
Yeah, a little bit of bumping and boring in the mid-pack there, but everybody through safely. JJ Plowman and is that Jensen Sale in second place?
I think so.
The 1, 2, 2.
We'll have a look
Jensen
at the number.
Walker, apologies. It's Jensen Walker in second place.
The battle of the Jensens. Jensen Walker in second place then. And right on the bumper of JJ Plowman. Plowman has not broken away too greatly, and if anything, the first two have broken away from third and fourth. However, guys, as we see in the arena, they all close back up together.
Exactly, yeah. You think you've got a break, somebody's going to get away, and they don't by the time they complete the lap. So, see how we go in this one, eh? JJ Plowman leading them through the first chicane. Jensen Walker clean. Is that... It is, isn't it? It's Jensen Sale in the 140.
Yeah, Jensen Sale, Harvey Bacon, Fraser Anderson, Noah Jebsen, Kemp, Jack Moss up to 8th, Fabricius 9th, and then the top 10 rounded off by Jackson Hilton. However, Max Gilman, what has happened to Max Gilman? Because he has come through in 11th. So winner of the first heat And championship leader Max Gilman down to 11th, so an issue for him on lap 1.
Yeah, I noticed as they were leaving the dummy grid for the warm-up lap, he was having some trouble getting away off the line, so hopefully they're not related, but you never know.
Well, it might be the case. I'm not sure how he came across the line to take the start, but that's Gilman way back down the order there.
Yeah.
And he's up to 9th already.
Has he got a bit of clean air now to make a bit more ground up? I think he has. Yes, he has. He's just off the back of 8th place, James Fabricius.
Walker was that kart in 2nd place there. Jensen Walker, fastest kart on the track on lap 2. Hanging on to JJ Plowman, but Jensen Seal not too far away. And these first 3 now beginning to break away. They're through the Ashton's hairpin now, the right-hander, and off towards the arena. We'll keep an eye on Max Gilman and his progress back up the field. Bit of a recovery drive from him and a damage limitation exercise, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. But he's already proven a couple of times this year that he can come through the pack quite happily. He's now on the back of James Fabricius. Yes, he is. And he's going for a move into turn 1. I can see out the window, and he's got it. Lovely move. She should appear in his... There he is, 8th place. But yeah, I just wonder if anybody from this class and the other classes was watching the junior Rotax and how to overtake at Ashton's, because that could be interesting come the end of the day.
Yeah, that's the only class we've seen there, actually.
Yeah.
And that may be because of the higher power of the kart would get you into that corner and create a braking area because of the speed of the kart to get through the corner.
Yeah.
So that might be all down to the kind of the technicalities of the performance of the kart is why, because we haven't seen any of these classes, because I think the speed difference between the elbow and then into Ashton's is perhaps not as discernible as it is on a junior Rotax. There's Gilman continuing his recovery drive. He's now up to 8th ahead of Sandro Kemp. The next driver on his list to get by is James Fabricus.
Yeah,
Fabricius, I should say.
Noah Jepson, my apologies, just nicked 5th place from Freya Anderson in the first chicane. Nice little move that was. He is on the case of Harvey Bacon in 4th now. And he's closing as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
They all Constantine are back up in the braking zone anyway, don't they? So.
Well, we've just clicked by half of this race, half of this second heat of the day for the Intermax class. And there, the leaders already underneath us. JJ Plowman leading by half a second from Jensen Walker. Jensen Seal in 3rd. Harvey Bacon 4th. Noah Jepson 5th. 6th is Fraser Anderson. James Fabricius now under massive pressure from Max Gilman. Has Gilman made a move?
Yeah, there was a bit of bumping and boring going on between, I think it was Fabricius and Anderson as they headed into the first chicane. Sorted themselves out now, though. That's helped Max Gilman. He's nabbed 7th, I believe. And all the points are going to help because the championship is reasonably close, I'd say, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is pretty close. And Jensen Seal and JJ Plowman absolutely hauling points back on championship leader Max Gilman in this heat process. Yeah, it will also mean a better grid position going forward into the super heats, of course.
Yeah, of course. It's all going to play a big part now, isn't it, as we move forward into Sunday's action.
So Gilman stays behind Fabricius.
Is it Fabricius? Oh, it is, yeah. Sorry, it's Fraser Anderson that lost out in the squad ball last time round.
That's right. There's the number 121 of Noah Jepson.
Well, I have to say, that's a good drive by Max Gilman so far. He's not really lost time to the leaders. It's been stable at around 4 seconds. So.
Oh, they slide wide. Harvey Bacon slid wide coming out of the elbow. That's allowed Jepson through.
How did he do?
Jepson goes to 4th. It was he used a bit of a tin opener there to open the gap, didn't he?
Absolutely.
And Bacon slid wide at the elbow. That has allowed a change for 4th as Bacon now drops to 5th. Jepson up to 4th. Fabricius still 6th. Max Gilman, his progress has been stifled now.
Yeah, he's now on the back of this group, isn't he?
Yeah, they are. They're on the back of that group. But Max Gilman just hasn't continued with the progress that we've seen in the early stages, as we sometimes see, obviously.
Yeah, you say that now, and that was a lovely move. Again, beautifully executed move into the second chicane. Kart wasn't out of shape, and he's just taken 6th place. Lovely move.
So that is a continuation of this progress, and that's the same liveried kart that's ahead of him now.
It is.
In the form of Harvey Bacon, so I'm not sure if they're
It's another Thule car.
Yeah, it looks like Thule Motorsport. Certainly,
yeah, that's Thule.
Certainly Thule overalls.
Absolutely, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, down the inside.
He's not hanging about, is he?
No. And going with him is Fabricius.
He gave it a go, didn't he?
Yeah, Fabricius tried to.
Yeah, sorry.
So the 169, Max Gilman ahead now. And behind him, that's really hurt Harvey Bacon, because now he's lost out to James Fabricius.
Yeah.
And Fabricius through now, but whether or not he can catch and keep with Gilman, who's got a bit of a gap now to Harvey Bacon, hasn't he? Oh, sorry, that's Noah Jepson, of course.
Yeah, and that move from, or that loss of places for, who was it?
Fabricius?
Oh, no, sorry, Harvey Bacon. Mine went blank then. Yeah, that move started here at the last corner. We lost a little bit of momentum. Max Gilman got the jump on him in the first chicane, and then Fabricius followed him through, so Harvey now down to 7th.
I think we've had a change of lead there, Nick. If we can pick up the leaders, they're just going down to the hook. I think Jensen Seal has now just got ahead of Plowman.
Yeah, they're side by side.
They're side by side into the second chicane, and Plowman gets him back. We saw Seal into the lead at the hook, and Seal, what's happened to Seal? Seal's going slowly.
He's
he came out the second chicane, and he's slowing down massively.
He's letting them by.
Jensen Seal has got a problem.
With 1 lap to go, is he going to come in or keep going? He's keeping going.
This is like one more corner to go after this one.
It's
There's Plowman, the leader, through to take the checkered flag. The ST Racing driver takes top honours and will claw some championship points back.
Absolutely.
Oh, it wasn't Seal at all. Who was that? That totally threw me. Jensen Seal, according to this, has finished second. Jensen Walker finishes third. Noah Jepson fourth. Was it Jack? It was Jack Moss.
Yeah, I think the colour of the car threw us all there.
It was orange and white, and I thought that was Plowman. But I thought Plowman had lost the lead there in the foreground. It wasn't. They were coming up to lap Jack Moss. So JJ Plowman wins from 1.5 seconds to Jensen Seal. Jensen Walker is third. Noah Jepson fourth. Max Gilman fifth. James Fabricius sixth. Harvey Bacon seventh. Fraser Anderson eighth. 9th is Sandro Kemp, Jackson Hilton 10th, Hugo McCluskey 11th, Zach Hunt 12th, Eli Rideout 13th, and a lap down was Jack Moss.
As we get ready for, what is our next heat, Joe?
Micromax out next.
Micromax, let's have a look.
So the first heat for Micromax went, hang on, just need to update that because that isn't there. Yeah, Alfie Mayer, of course, wasn't it? It was the Synergy versus Zip battle continued, and Alfie Mayer took the win from Logan Rolfe, so it was Zip, Synergy, Zip. Benedictus Masiokas third, Buddy Hugo fourth. What were you pointing at there?
Just the gaps between the first three, practically three abreast, wasn't it?
Well, 6/10 between first and third.
Yeah, not a lot, is it?
So that's not a lot at all, no.
With the piece of paper, isn't it?
Yeah, let's have a look at the grid as we check at the championship as well, Gaz. Micromax qualifying is next. Logan Rolfe on the pole position with Alfie Mayer alongside.
Yeah.
That's a battle that will continue on until tomorrow afternoon's final.
Yeah.
No doubt. Buddy Hugo and Lewis Kokotti share row 2. Benedictus Masiokas share row 3. Benedictus Masiokas and Carter Jackson share row 3. LBJ Stubbs and Jack Mellon are on row 4. Lewis Herbertson and Freddie Blackshaw on row 5. Sebastian Crawford, who had a drive through the field, remember.
Yes.
I'll just remind myself where Sebastian did end up. I think he ended up in 6th, was it, or 8th? We'll check that out. Alongside Seb is Ronnie Faulkner. Then we've got Jamie Walsh and Zach Andrew, Travis Giddings and Jensen Darlow, with Ruben Sagu rounding off the 17-cart field. And just to remind ourselves what happened in that first Micromax heat. Oops, wrong one. That is, bear with me, talk amongst yourselves. Micromax heat, there is Sebastian Crawford. Did get up to, I think, about 7th or 8th, and then he ended up coming in 9th. So he moved up 2 places. Benedictus Masiokas also moved up 2 places to 3rd from 5th on the grid.
Yeah,
so
fairly static in the championship because of their finishing positions in the first heats. Not a lot's changed too much. We'll see the points when they're added up after the event, probably, to be fair.
Well,
because I can't work it on the fly.
Yeah, no, it's very hard to be honest. We'll not even attempt that.
No.
Second place at round 1 at Wilton Mill for Alfie Mayer. He finished second to Logan Rolfe, who took the win. Benedictus Masiokas was third, so that was your podium at round 1. Your podium at round 2 was a win for Alfie Mayer. I'm not sure who was second, because I think it was a guest driver. Logan Rolfe finished 4th.
Where are we looking, Joe?
Here, round 2.
Sorry.
He's not on there.
Nope.
Logan Rolfe finished 4th, and Benedictus Masiokas finished 3rd. Second place at Warden Law was Alfie Mayer. Third place was Lewis Kirkcaldy. Logan Rolfe finished 7th. Benedictus Masiokas finished 4th. The win was taken by local man Austin Orman, who's gone on to race in the British Championship and the UKC. And then at Rowrah, we had a top 3 of the championship podium with Alfie Mayer 1st, Benedictus Masiokas 2nd, and Logan Rolfe 3rd. So it's been a championship about these 3 drivers. Logan Rolfe starting on the pole position, Alfie Mayer alongside, Buddy Hugo, Lewis Kirkcaldy, and then Masiokas starting in 5th alongside Carter Jackson, who's an outstanding timed qualifying this morning and has threw himself up the grid into the sharp end of the grid in 6th spot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, what does it all mean? We're in for a hell of a heat, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, as ever. As ever.
As long as they all get through the first chicane, and the second one, to be fair, after what we've seen in the first heat with these guys, when there was a bit of shenanigans, wasn't there? We couldn't quite pick out who and where.
Well, that's Fulbeck's flatness. Is kind of giving us that long shot on the camera, and we kind of that sort of long shot does tend to concertina the karts up, and sometimes we get the perception that karts are alongside. Don't get me wrong, sometimes the karts are alongside one another, but there was all sorts of racing went on in the first heat, and that's very much due to continue.
Yeah, absolutely, I think. There we go. Out of the dummy, off the dummy grid, into the first of the warm-up laps. Or the only warm-up lap, isn't it? It's a standing start. No, it's not. It's Intermax. So
this is the 5th and final round of the 2024 Championship. 2024 isn't over because we start a 3-round winter series in September. The end of September, we go to Wilton Mill. The 16th and 17th of November, we're at Warden Law. And then the 7th and 8th of December, we are at Three Sisters. So the Kart Championship isn't finished quite yet. Yes, we finished the 2024 season. However, the Winter Series starts in September. So that's, dare I say it, guys, that's not too far away.
No, it's really not, is it? September will be on us rather quickly, I fancy, after what will be the summer holidays for everybody here. Of course, taking time out from school, depending on when the races fall at least. Summer holiday and come back to it all again.
No racing in the summer holidays for these drivers in the Kart Championship. They'll be back to school before they know it.
Yep. And
then be looking at a trip to Wilton Mill, back to Wilton Mill for the first round of the Winter Series.
Oh, hello.
Always a popular venue. Karts being
very slow,
being held up by Logan Rolfe, the pole man,
running
a very slow pace. He picks the pace up as they come out the arena through the left-hander at Beavers, and then on towards the start-finish. Will Dan Ashton give them the go-ahead?
He hasn't.
No, he has. Yeah. Has he? Yeah, we have. The clock's ticking, and they are racing into turn 1, which is the first chicane.
Yeah, and out of the first chicane, it is still Logan Rolfe at the front.
Alfie Mayer second.
Yeah.
So it's Synergy Zip Kart out of the hook and on towards the second chicane.
Buddy Hugo still holding a nice third position, straight over the back of Alfie Mayer. Again, look, it's a bit of a breakaway, but is that going to stay? Well, quite possibly not.
Oh, there's lovely. A move.
Somebody's been watching Junior Rotax.
Yeah, there's a move down there. That's the first time we've seen a cadet class kart moving down the inside into Ashton's.
Yeah, great move too.
Yeah, Alfie Mayer will lead across the line to lead from lap 1. started second on the grid, and he caught Logan Rolfe napping quite considerably there. Buddy Hugo, Masiokas, Kikori, Stubbs, Carter Jackson 7th, Jack Mellon, Lewis Herbertson, Sebastian Crawford up into 10th ahead of Freddie Blackshaw, who's 11th. Two lads down from the northeast, running 10th and 11th there, I note.
Yeah, and we've got a sizable gap, nearly a second now, back to 4th position, Benedictus Matsiokis.
Alfie Mayer pulling a bit of a gap there into the elbow.
Yeah, this pace is on fire, isn't it, at the
yeah,
start?
The two Synergy Karts.
Holding station for now, at least.
They're bound to come back together, though. They are absolutely going to come back together. I mean, Alfie Mayer, remember, tyres just beginning to come on, so Alfie Mayer's tyres working better for him in these first 2 laps. However, once we see the Synergy Karts coming in, we are pretty sure we're going to see them latching back onto the rear bumper of Alfie Mayer.
And that's it. It could only be 1 PSI difference in the pressure, and that would be enough for that. The initial launch at the start of the race to get the advantage, which you see quite frequently, but it will come back together if the 2 Synergies are running slightly higher. Their tyres will come on later and give them a bigger advantage towards the end of the race. And it all comes down to how well Alfie Mayer can defend the lead.
Well, Alfie Mayer's leading the championship. He's had 2 wins and 2 seconds in the series so far, so he is the man to beat, so to speak. 781 points. And Logan Rolfe's the next driver in the championship on 737. So Alfie Mayer, if he continues in this vein this afternoon, it's looking very likely he's going to lift the championship.
Yeah, still to play for with a whole day to go yet, though, isn't there? And I feel like Buddy Hugo is being held up by Logan Rolfe. He's much quicker through the arena section towards the end of that. Bit of a gap opens up as they come back across the start line.
I think that's tyres.
Yeah,
I do think that's tyres. And Logan Rolfe now, you can see just the attitude of the kart through the corners there. He's not sliding around as much as he was.
No.
Now his tyres are coming in, and Logan Rolfe and Buddy Hugo will very shortly be latching onto the back of that leading Alfie Mayer kart. But you can't discount Benedictus Masiokas and Lewis Kikori, who are the 2 karts behind these white and blue karts.
Yeah, they are.
They just come into the picture there. They're not far behind in the arena there.
I fancy that gap is coming down. We'll find out as they cross the line to complete lap 3. Moving on to lap 4.
No, that is completing lap 4.
That's what I said. Lap 4.
Completing lap 3 onto lap 4. They're on to lap 5.
I never was good at numbers.
No, you've got to wait for that. That's not as quick. That's not as dynamic as real life. It caught you out.
It did.
Catches me out all the time. They're not catching Alfie Mayer as quick as I thought they might.
Well,
I thought they might be right there with him by now, but they're not, are they? I mean, they're not far away, but they're just not there to challenge.
I fancy as we come into the next couple of laps, that gap will just... Oh, look at that. Bruno Hugo. Now, there you go. Side by side. Now he lets him go. A little hand gesture there. Carry on, sir. I think they just hold stations. They close that gap. Smart driving.
Yeah.
So they can have a squabble for the win towards the end of the race. There's no point wasting time now and falling back into the clutches of 4th place, is there? Well,
fastest driver on the track the previous lap was Logan Rolfe, and that fastest lap has been matched by Buddy Hugo, a 50.4. That was the lap time. So they are right on the pace, these 2 Synergy boys.
I do think Buddy Hugo has a little bit more pace at this stage. He's so much quicker through the corners. His mid-corner speed, so look at that. He's straight on the back of Logan Rolfe through the second chicane. Yeah,
this is an intriguing battle, and then a lot of track there being used by Hugo. Didn't really disadvantage him or advantage him. Masiokas is not that far behind, though, is he? Masiokas is coming, 2 minutes on the clock. So time is running out for him to catch and overtake, but Masiokas there, just coming onto the back of Buddy Hugo now. There's the leader across the line.
You might see a purple sector by...
Yeah, there you go. I was literally
just
spot on, guys.
Yeah, he's closed that gap massively to Buddy Hugo, who's lost a bit of time that time around, actually.
Rest of the field coming through the chicane.
Neat and tidy. Synchronised looking over my shoulder.
Yeah, what number is that at the lead? There's the leaders now coming together. So Alfie Mayer, Logan Rolfe, Buddy Hugo, and Masiokas. Now you could say, Gaz, that is now he's on the bumper of Buddy Hugo, isn't he? And Hugo knows that.
He's most definitely on his rear bumper. Let's see what he can do through here, though. We've seen a couple of moves already for the chicane in other classes this morning or this afternoon. Is he going to tee him up for the first chicane? He's in a prime position to do it, isn't he? He's having a look. He's going to go for it right now, I think.
Yeah, alongside into the braking area.
Nice.
Oh, no.
He's touched him.
There was a little bit of a coming together there.
It's pushed Buddy wide, though.
It wasn't really deliberate. It was more inadvertent there. And Masiokas down the inside because momentum was completely lost there. Another fastest lap of the race by Masiokas, who now says, let's go and catch them.
Now we shoved them out of the way.
Now that I'm in third, let's go and catch them. And then my third can be second.
I think that was most definitely two karts fighting for the same bit of tarmac and just met in the middle.
They're very, very close out there, aren't they?
Yeah, you've seen the tyre marks on these pods, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't think there's a clean pod in the paddock.
Must be a new sticker kit if there is, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to get another couple of laps out of this. I think we're going to be crossing the line with a few seconds on the clock. Yes, we are.
Alfie Mayor's already crossed the line with 15 seconds to go. That will give us another 2 laps now, won't it?
But just look at that, guys. Look at the gap between second place kart there, the white kart there, second in the picture. Look at how much time they lost when Masiokas and Hugo were squabbling over that place change.
And look at how Logan Rolfe has reeled in Alfie Mayor. He's obviously had his tyres, I would say, at a guess. He's sorted out his tyres to come on later in the race because he's all over the back of, within reason, Alfie Mayor, isn't he? All of a sudden, I think the gap across the line a lap ago was slightly over half a second, and that's next to nothing now.
I'm not sure he's got an advantage though. All right, he's caught him, he's catching him, he's there, he's circulating at roughly the same. He's put in a fastest lap there last time by. Let's see if he remains purple this time.
Has he got enough?
There's the final lap board that the drivers see. Not quite the fastest lap, but only 200ths off. And there's no question that Logan Rolfe is quicker than Alfie Mayor going into this final lap, but I think time's run out.
Well, we'll see. What's left now? The second chicane, and quite possibly as they go into the Ashton's hairpin, Alfie going defensive into the second chicane. That's going to allow Logan Rolfe to take a few extra centimetres out of that lead.
It's very, very close and tight. It just needs a mistake from the leader, Alfie Mayor, but you're going to wait a long time for Alfie Mayor to make a mistake. Yep. He's leading the championship coming into this 5th and final round, and he's about to take the second heat win as he comes through the left-hander now of Beavers, the final turn here, and then across the line to take the checkered flag. Alfie Mayor takes heat 2 from Logan Rolfe in second, Benedictus Masiokas is third, Buddy Hugo fourth, Lewis Kokori fifth, Albie J. Stubbs in sixth. The 7th place finish for Carter Jackson, with Sebastian Crawford moving up the order to 8th, Jack Mellon 9th, Lewis Herbertson 10th, Freddie Blackshaw 11th, and then we have Ruben Sagu, Ronnie Faulkner, Jamie Walsh, Zach Andrew, Travis Giddings and Jensen Darlow rounding off the 17 kart field.
And that was a well-measured, controlled race, I fancy, by Alfie Mayor. It was...
Controlled is a good word, actually.
You don't finish second and first at the previous rounds, do you?
No.
By chance.
No.
So, yeah, that was very good. Very good.
He's been top class. The Zip Kart factory team giving that youngster, Alfie, a kart to really go to work on. And the pairing, the Zip Kart and Alfie, very hard to beat. The Synergy drivers won't give up until the very end, though.
And they didn't. Logan Rolfe really pulled that gap down, didn't he? But
and great drive from Carter Jackson. 7th, Sebastian Crawford coming up the order to 8th place. And we are into the C50 Bambinos next.
And these are so
remember
much fun.
Remember this one, Gaz, last time? Where they were absolutely together, and then there was a little bit of a...
shenanigans going on, wasn't there?
A few shenanigans is probably the best way to put it. No Wicklow took the win. Ollie West was second. They reversed their grid order at the start.
Yeah, straight off the line, doesn't it?
We'll have a look at the grid in a moment, but there was lots of place changes going on. In third was Arthur Bowers with Henry Hills fourth. Logan Hodgetts was fifth with Will Rainwright sixth. Remember, Will was right in amongst it in the top 3, and then ended up coming 6th, dropping 3 from his grid start. Hendrix Fallout was 7th, Jesse Bailey 8th, Nico Veselovsky was 9th, and it was Calman Simon that rounded off the top 10. The grid, let's just remind ourselves about the championship. How's that looking?
it's still, well, until we update the points, Neil Wicklow still leading on 746. Ollie West in second with 738. It's very close, isn't it, at the top? There's no doubt about that.
Very, very close.
Logan Hodgetts, 724. Barely anything between these top three, really. 200 points, don't forget, to be taken overall at every meeting.
So that's what makes it wide open, isn't it? Because you can't
so
discount
big,
attrition or anything.
One DNF will be enough on it to swing it in any direction, really, for one or other drivers. Will Wainwright still holds the fourth position, 686 points. And not far behind him in fifth is Kalman Simon, which is 678. So there's a lot to play for in this top five.
Absolutely. And pick a winner if you dare. You'd be naive to pick a winner out of this lot. Ollie West on the pole position, Noel Wicklow alongside. It's a standing start. Again, remember, the carts will be released from that collecting area and make their way around onto the start grid, where it'll be a light-controlled standing start. Second row of the grid is Will Wainwright and Henry Hales, with Arthur Bowers and Logan Hodgetts on the third row, I should say. Jesse Bailey and Benjamin Shivart, who's a little bit off the pace there in this last couple of rounds. See Benjamin usually up there near the front. Hendrix Follett and Nico Veslovsky are on the fifth row of the grid. Calman Simon and Ray Thorne on row 6. Row 7 is John Stevens and Freddie Purnell, with Max St-Hilaire and Jack Swong on row 8. Row 9 is Riley Aston Wilkins and Brady Atkin, with Santo Amico rounding off a 19-cart field.
Very strong field, isn't it? It's, I don't think I've seen so many Micromax all in one place at the same time.
Well, that's odd because they're C50 Bambinos, guys.
I'm reading the screen, aren't I? You're absolutely right, Joe.
You've got to keep you've got to keep your heads up, mate. Just because it says that up there.
I think it's time for a lie down.
Yeah, just because it says that up there doesn't mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. C50 Bambinos.
You don't treat the newcomer any more respect.
No. It's a baptism
That's
of
right.
fire. It's not new. We've done this before.
Let's start again.
Drivers at the age of 6 to 8. They are on the C50 engine. Fixed sprocket gearing, minimum weight 71 kilograms, and we've mentioned the LeConte all-weather tyre because we do not want to find these youngsters out there on slick racing tyres if it just happens to pour down. We are in the United Kingdom. It can rain at any time.
As it has already proven today.
Yeah, and it looks even more ominous, the weather. I haven't looked at a forecast, actually. I usually like to forecast as and when it's going to rain.
Yeah, I did try, but I have absolutely no signal, shockingly.
Oh, really? Well, I'm just going to wait for my app to tell me where the rain clouds are. As the C50s make their way around, we are in clear skies, and we are in clear skies all the way to the finish today. So look at the rain. The rain will move around us just to the south of us.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. And then the forecast tomorrow is that it's going to rain from about 9 a.m. and it's going to remain persistently wet until about midday.
I'll bring my raincoat then
and
tomorrow.
then it's going to skirt around us, and potentially we're going to have dry conditions all the way to the end. So it's going to be raining in the morning and it's going to dry up for the afternoon tomorrow. For today, though, it's not going to rain. It's just going to look like it's about to.
Psychological.
So just where above that timing board there, where it says clear grid, that's Dan Ashton in the white sleeves with the Kart Championship gilet. He's our race official, whose word is the word of God here this weekend. Dan, who's got a lot of experience and one of the best people in that field in the United Kingdom when it comes to stewarding and clerking, the man in charge. We're in good hands here in the Kart Championship. And it'll be a light controlled start, and the red lights are out, and Noah Wicklow off and into the lead with the C50 Bambino spreading across the track, and Wicklow cuts across them. Looked worse than it was, actually. He had plenty of space.
Ollie West clean off the front row, down to fourth come the first chicane. Henry Hales up to second.
Yeah, that's great. Will Wainwright as well. And who's that? Is that Arthur Bowers going down the inside of Henry Hales and making his day even worse?
I think it was, It's a fan across the circuit. 3 wide, as you do, because why not?
Oh, Hill's challenging for the lead and going around down the inside and around the outside at the second chicane. Wicklow, who got away mega well from that second place, has been caught napping at the second chicane.
And Ollie West is falling, he's 5th now.
It looks like he has a problem, doesn't he?
Yeah, I noticed on the grid he'd angled his kart as well. That was interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing to do, it seems, with Bambinos. Side by side, out of the arena and through Beavers. Henry Hills just toughs it out with Wicklow, though. These two have raced well all season long, and Wicklow alongside
he's
Hills,
sharing the grass, he's narrowing the angle.
Squeezes the issue, but Wicklow sits there. He had his kart fully alongside Gaz and well positioned.
He was taking absolutely none of that and made sure that he came through into there first. Absolutely no doubt about it. Great move.
Wainwright in that bright yellow kart right now on the rear bumper of Hills, but Hills right now on the rear bumper of Wicklow ahead. And who's that in the black and orange kart behind? It's Arthur Bowers.
It is.
He's not too far away, and he's up into 4th place.
Yeah, he is. And Ollie West, I don't know what's happened to Ollie, but he's down in 6th from the front row. What has happened there?
Not quite sure. He just did not get that kart running cleanly, did he?
No, he didn't get off the line very well, I don't think. But still at the front. Henry Hales is looking for that first position back as we go into the arena. We saw him make a great move here earlier on, didn't we? Swept through the inside. I don't know how he pulled that out.
No, neither do I.
Great move, though.
They're very, very quick through there. It's almost the whole of the arena section is an acceleration zone with your foot flat out.
For these guys, absolutely, there's no doubt.
The first 3 are nose to tail. Behind these first 3, Arthur Bowers trying to get on terms with them, and then a gap to Logan Hodgetts, Ollie West, Calman Simon, Benjamin Shivar, Falat, Purnell, Veslovsky, Jesse Bailey, Jack Swong, John Stevens, Max Centelaire, Ray Thorne, Brady Atkins, Santo Amico and Riley Aston Wilkins rounding off the 19 kart field, but it's still nose to tail at the front.
Yeah, it certainly is. A little bit of a slide there from Noah Wilco coming out of the exit of the second chicane. That's let Henry Hales straight on the case.
Out of Ashton's and heading towards the arena. Henry Hills not in a position to challenge, and Will Wainwright there I'd say that was a watching brief on what's happening at the front, isn't it?
Stole the words from me. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Keeping a watching brief.
Just let them two figure it out and pick up the pieces, as we've seen so many times already today.
Wicklow leading into the first chicane, though. It'll be 4 laps completed after this one, so into the chicane for the 4th time. Hales just having a sneak peek over the shoulder of Wicklow to see what that lead looks like. He has to slot in behind through the hook. Wainwright now back on terms, these 3 as one.
Yeah, no real-time gains by Arthur Bowers just yet, but I fancy if these 3 start squabbling and trading paint, as it were, there's a good chance they may bring Arthur and Ollie West, who's up to 5th now, back into the play. And the queue of karts.
And Wicklow through the elbow into Ashton's and out of Ashton's towards the arena. This is where Wainwright closes the gap again. He kind of drops back on that run down to the elbow, but now he just has a lovely bit of grip there, and he's able to latch straight back onto the rear bumper of Hills with 3 minutes remaining, guys. I still wouldn't like to pick a winner because you don't know whether they're playing a waiting game.
And that's it, isn't it? And we've seen it by these guys at the front so many times this year already, where one will just sit behind the other until the closing stages and eventually make a move for the win. And especially now, they've got to keep themselves out of trouble. They've got such an advantage now over 4th place.
Just behind these top 3, the battle for 4th is beginning to heat up with Arthur Bowers. He's now been overtaken by Ollie West. Ollie West in the green kart into 4th. And can Ollie West begin to pull away? Now, this was the driver that started on pole position. That's the green card just coming out the chicane there behind the top 3. As the first 3 go through elbow.
Differentiating lines there, wasn't there?
Yeah, little difference of opinion.
Very wise. But Ollie West has some work to do. 2 minutes on the clock. I'm not entirely sure he's going to make up 3 seconds, but I'm not calling anything. We know how this turns out.
Yeah, Wicklow, it is leading through Beavers then. 2 minutes remaining. Henry Hills attaches himself to the rear bumper, almost quite literally. I think got a bungee tie or something between them.
It certainly looks like it, doesn't it,
They've
Joe?
never been that far apart.
They really haven't. Certainly a piece of paper's width, isn't it, really? Let's be honest.
Will Wainwright going really well.
Is he going to jink to the right? He's not, He's thought about it. Is he going to tee him up for the last lap, though? Pick out where he's faster and play the waiting game.
There's every chance, you know. I mean, Wainwright won. He won the first round at Wilton Mill, and then he's had a 6th, a 4th, and an 8th.
Yeah.
So he's been there or thereabouts. But here we are this weekend, and Will Wainwright is right back in contention for a top 3.
Yeah.
As Hales just looks like he's got pace, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, this is really heating up for a final lap showdown.
I'm talking about the second place kart, of course, the blue kart, the blue driver. The red and black driver, Wicklow, he's so composed.
He's not fussed at all, is he, by the attention going on behind him? He's letting them sort themselves. Oh, quick lance, but is he going to be phased? I'm not sure they're going to be close enough to dive up the inside. There's such little braking room here, isn't there? They're not going quick enough. Well,
it'll be the 1 lap to go board next time by. They cross the line on about 40, 50 seconds. They're lapping in 61 seconds.
Yeah.
And so 2 more laps of racing for these top 3.
And they have absolutely cleared off from the following group led by Ollie West in 4th position. Some 5 seconds nearly, 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, you just can't take your eyes away from this lead battle.
Absolutely not. No, this is
maximum point score is what Noah Wicklow needs.
Yeah, extend that lead over Ollie, who's obviously had some issues at some point in this heat, but he's recovered to 4th now. But
Wainwright, you know what? Wainwright in that bright yellow kart, he's looking now that he knows what's coming. He knows it's the last lap board.
Yeah, he's very quick, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's very good through the arena.
Yeah.
Very composed drive from these 3 youngsters who've just been able to just follow one another around, just waiting for an opportunity, and Wicklow driving extra defensively into the first chicane.
Yeah, very. Is that going to compromise him on the way out? But possibly not. Or has he now?
Oh, it has.
Henry's going to have a look.
He comes across on him. He comes across and takes the line. It looked worse than it actually was. There was plenty of space between them, nose to tail.
It's that long shot, isn't it? It draws you in.
Absolutely.
He's gone defensive again. Look, Henry's going to go wide, tee it up for the exit of the chicane.
And again, they looked like they were side by side. They're not quite. And Wainwright wants in as well.
This is
Wainwright,
all helping. Yeah.
Looking like he might have a go at Ashton's. No, they all look like they might have a go at Ashton's, and they're side by side out of Ashton's towards the arena now. Whitlow on the left and Wainwright going with him. Henry Hales has been demoted to 3rd. Wainwright with some very clever driving there. He will latch onto the back of Wicklow through Beavers for the final time. Then it'll be Noah Wicklow who takes the win. But what a drive from Wainwright, who sat on Henry Hales, and that was more of an opportunist move, wasn't it?
Well, that was fantastic. Where did that come from? It looked like Noah Wicklow carried a bit too much speed into the Ashton hairpin there, because he looked very wide, which brought Henry Hales alongside him, and then from nowhere, Will Wainwright said, "Thank you very much, I'll have a bit of that too," and has nabbed 2nd.
Well, you know what? We had a great battle for 1st, 2nd and 3rd. We had an equally exciting battle for the places beyond that. Ollie West finally came through in 4th. Calman Simon 5th. A delighted Calman Simon by the looks of the way he crossed the line there, waving his hands. Arthur Bowers ended up in 6th. Logan Hodgett 7th. Then we had Hendrix Fallat and Benjamin Shivar 8th and 9th. Jesse Bailey was 10th. John Stevens 11th. Jack Swong through in 12th. Freddie Purnell and Nico Veslovsky were next, with Ratho and Max Centelaire, Santo Amico, Brady Atkin and Riley Aston Wilkins rounding off a 19 kart C50 Bambino. 2nd and final heat. That is phenomenal driving all the way down the field there. We needed about 17 cameras there, Nick, and about 4 commentators to keep a hold on what was actually happening. We're into the last 3 of our heats and our last 3 races in our coverage today. And the next one out is the Primo, and that was won by Daniel Hartley from Bella Franklin.
Clough. You said it again, Joe.
What did I say? Franklin. Oh, that's
Fairclough.
It's Bella Fairclough.
It is.
Bella Franklin is a driver that races up in Warden Law. I get me Bellas mixed up. Bella Fairclough, of course, came 2nd, and she was catching Daniel Hartley, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Or was she? That is the question, actually. The gap at the end ended up being 1.8 seconds.
Yeah, I think it stagnated from memory.
Yeah, and Daniel Hartley, he came through from 4th to take that win in fine style with a gap of 1.8 and a fastest lap of a 45.09, a full 10th quicker. Lap time wise. Tyler Davis and Maya Simpson were 3rd and 4th. Maya Simpson came up from 6th. Jake Anders from 8th up to 5th. It was Oscar Zervich. Zervich, did we say that was?
Yeah, Zervich, I think.
Zervich, sorry. Oscar Zervich dropped from 5th to 6th during the race, and then up 3 from 10th to 7th with Ethan Bath. Ellis Daly dropped the most there, down 5 places to that 8th spot for him. 9th was Oscar Pitt. Alex Lynn came from 24th to 10th, did Alex Lynn. Started right at the back. He'll be starting right at the back again with Alex, and a great drive from him. He was the driver who moved the most places forward to round off our top 10. Just to remind ourselves of the championship.
It's very one-sided, isn't it? Sorry, Joe, I'm cutting across. Yeah,
it looks it. That's what I was about to say, actually, guys.
Daniel Hartley, with nothing but a commanding lead, let's be honest, over Alfie Forrester, who started is starting about 18th or 19th, I think, in this heat.
Well, the thing is, right, so Hartley's won rounds 1, 2, 3 and 4.
Yes.
Right. That is how it looks on paper.
Yes.
And he's in a very, very strong position to take this championship if he continues. He won the first heat. However, Bella Fairclough...
Well done.
Bella Fairclough, she took the win on the road at Wilton Mill in round 1.
Yes.
However, I think it was a bumper penalty, but she did take a 5 seconds, so I'm going to take a punt at a bumper penalty, if my memory serves me, and ended up finishing 3rd. She had a 4th place finish at round 2 at Gleneagles. She won on the road at Wardenlaw, but then was taken out of the results for a technical infringement. So she dropped a lot of points there. And then a 3rd place finish at Rowra behind Taylor Dixon, who finished 2nd, and Daniel Hartley, who actually took the win on the road.
Yeah.
Bella will be absolutely determined to take a final win.
Oh, yeah.
She's got that in her head. She wants to take an overall top step of the podium here this weekend.
Absolutely, make a statement on the last rounds and remind people, isn't it? I am here to win.
Yeah, that's what she'll want to do. She started well with the fastest lap in qualifying, which puts her on the front row with Tyler Davis alongside. We've got Ellis Daly and Daniel Hartley next. Oscar Savich on 5th with Maya Simpson alongside in 6th. Then we've got Laurie McVeigh and Jake Anders on row 4. Row 5 is Eddie Stewart and Ethan Bath. Then we've got Zach Kane and Joseph Mills. Alex Forsyth and Lewis Gilbert are next. Thomas Butcher and Sophie Caldwell on row 8. Row 9 is Oscar Pitt and Ronnie Legg with Jack Johnson, Riley Mason-Lewis on row 10. Alfie Forrester down the order, perhaps where he shouldn't be, is alongside Ewan Stevenson and then Jensen Cook and Alex Lynn, who was the biggest mover there. 14 places from 24th to 10th in that first. Where did Alfie Forrester finish, by the way? Because Alfie Forrester is 2nd in the championship and he's found himself down in 21st.
I believe he got up to around 15th. But don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, I'll remind ourselves. We can't stop looking back because we've got to look forward as we've got the field already through Beavers. Let's see if they please Dan Ashton. They do not. It gets a false start flag and they are waving themselves around again. So we get a chance to see where Alfie Forrester was. So where is he in the championship, did you say?
He is 2nd and he's got... Well, we'll see what happens with the points, but he's got Maya Simpson hot on his heels for that 2nd place in the championship. Last race, or Heat 1 rather, he finished 17th. So he made 4 places from a starting position. What happened in qualifying for him to be 21st?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
But Fulbeck, as we know, as we've seen, it can be a difficult place to pass. And
it's a funny track completely.
Yes, you do rely on a mistake predominantly to gain a position, as we've seen so frequently today. Yeah, absolutely. It can
bite you back. You can be on an absolute outstanding lap by the time you get to that 2nd chicane, and then it can all go horribly wrong. And if it doesn't go horribly wrong at the 2nd chicane, it'll certainly go horribly wrong here at the arena. Yeah. It's so easy to get sucked in and just drive into that arena section, affectionately named by me, because that's what it makes me think of when I drive this track. Here we go then. Let's see if Bella Fairclough can hold the pace down to the pleasure of Dan Ashton. And she does this time. Who will it be into the first chicane? It is Bella Fairclough on that yellow cart. She ticks the box of leading into and out of. It's Tyler Davis in second with Daniel Hartley out of there in third. Not quite sure who that is on the blue cart. I think it's it's Maya Simpson, who did exactly the same in the first. No, Maya Simpson's in fifth on the Tony kart. 2 orange helmets there.
Very confusing, but yeah, that was
2 orange helmets. Maya Simpson's the second orange helmet on the Tony kart.
There was a bit of a coming together in the mid-pack in the first chicane I saw, but the driver has got away, so we shouldn't have a yellow flag coming round to complete lap 1.
Here we go then, Bella Fairclough out of the arena and through the left-hander at Beavers, and will cross the line and lead heat number 2. It's Fairclough, Davis, Hartley, Dealey, the first of the orange helmets. Maya Simpson, the second of the orange helmets. Zervich in 6th, Anders in 7th, 8th Ethan Bath, Eddie Stewart 9th, Lewis Gilbert 10th.
Nearly a move there by Daniel Hartley in for second. I rather fancy that might have been a little bit of a mistake by Tyler Davis. Opened the door slightly, but regained it on the exit and picked up the late apex and head on to second. And he has closed that gap there, hasn't he, to Bella Fairclough.
And Daniel Hartley down the inside. It's the Junior Rotax move of the day.
I love that move. What a great move.
It's the Junior Rotax runners that can use Ashton's as a place to overtake, and we're seeing this with the Junior Primos. Exactly the same karts as we'll see in the Junior Rotax class.
Yeah,
the only difference is the age group, the 12 to 14 year olds. These.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's purely, isn't it? It was installed purely for slightly shorter, less strong competitors, wasn't it? At 10 years old, I wasn't particularly big.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yeah. It's about that. It's about the younger kids being able to be in Junior Rotax without racing alongside a 15, 16 year old.
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? And it's a nice.
It's nice. I like the idea.
Yeah, I do.
I do like the idea.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So the battle for first place is now coming down to these two again. They've battled all season long in the Kart Championship. Bella Fairclough, first on the road at Wilton Mill, first on the road at Warden Law. And Daniel Hartley now moving on to a rear bumper as they head down towards the hook. Daniel Hartley down the inside, and that was textbook, wasn't it? Down the inside on the brakes.
Yeah, brilliant move. I think coming through the exit of the first chicane, it looked like Bella had a little bit of a moment. She looked like she was a little bit wide. Coming through the mid part of the corner, that allowed Daniel in. He's executed a great move coming through the hook.
Hartley continues to lead out of Ashton's all the way around the lap while we were watching that move at the hook, and Bella not allowing him to get too far away. Out of the arena they come then, and through the sweeping left-hander at Beavers, and Hartley's pulled a bit of a gap. Let's see where it is. It's 0.2 of a second.
It's next to nothing, isn't it?
It's nothing. Bella right on his bumper there out of the chicane.
Yeah, this one's not done yet, is it, Joe? I don't think. Tyler Davis, he's lost a bit of ground. He's now second off the back of this leading duo. Ellis Dealey, he's on the bumper, I believe. Yeah, he is. And Maya Simpson on the back of that group for third place. She had a better stint last time round, didn't she, in Heat 1 with a fourth?
Yeah.
Can she match that? She's going
she is.
Oh, look at that, lovely.
Yeah, lovely move by Maya Simpson. That's the white and green, the white Tony Kart colour with the green trim. The first of the orange helmets now is Maya Simpson. The second of the orange helmets is Ellis Daly. And that kart there with the green livery and the light green helmet is Tyler Davis, I should say.
Yeah.
And the question is, can Maya Simpson now get on terms with that kart ahead of her and get ahead and into third place?
Yeah, and as we talked about, as the heat rolls on, if people have got their tyres set up for the end of the race and they start coming on now, this is where we'll start to see the charge through the field from, well, at this moment, Maya Simpson, who's going to look for third position as soon as she can get hold of it, and hopefully, for her, get through to the leaders. Daniel Hartley's pulled a bit of a gap on Bella Fairclough, up to nearly half a second now, but Bella looked quite strong, didn't she, earlier on through the arena section, and made a bit of time on Daniel Hartley previously.
Yeah, Bella Fairclough, fastest lap of the race, 200ths quicker than Hartley there. So she's not slowing her pace down. She's chasing after Hartley. The gap is just under 0.4, 0.36 to be exact. So Hartley is keeping the pressure on, but Bella Fairclough not letting her escape too much. Now then, Tyler Davis If he had mirrors, they'd be full of Maya Simpson. Maya Simpson beginning to drop the Ambition Motorsport driver Ellis Daly off her rear bumper, which is going to allow her to focus more on getting by Tyler Davis, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think if she can't get up to Tyler Davis by the end of the second chicane, I rather fancy there will be a move into the Ashton's hairpin, much like we've seen her perform already today, which was an outstanding manoeuvre. Late on the brakes, very clean, straight at the inside. Thank you very much. She's going to tee him up though, isn't she? Second chicane, is she going to be close enough? Probably not this time around.
She looked like she was sliding. I mean, Tyler Davis was sliding as well out of the hook. Yeah, I mean, but she's just not. Tyler Davis is driving a great race here and keeping the pressure right on. The leaders continue into the arena. There's the third place driver there, Tyler Davis. Maya Simpson is right on his bumper now. Less than a minute remaining, and the two leaders come underneath us. They're going to have enough for 2 more laps.
Yeah, I would say so.
2 more laps after this one, that is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say, what are we doing, 40, 46?
Yeah, they're doing
45s,
45s, and there was 50 seconds on the clock, so they're going to be around in good time to give themselves 2 more laps of racing after this one.
Yeah, and the gap at the front is...
It's still 0.36, would you believe?
Mirroring each other very well, aren't they?
45.11. She's took another 10th, and there's Maya Simpson through on Davis.
Lovely.
Davis tries to come back, but that's a move for third place there.
Yeah, may see a fastest lap appear in the next couple of laps. There's not a lot of time on the board now, is there? But she's got some work to do to get up to our 2 leaders. Gone defensive there. Look at that. Tyler Davis not happy about having to relinquish that third position, is he?
Bella Fairclough has taken a 10th of a second out of Daniel Hartley's lead, as Maya Simpson has to defend very drastically there going into the hook.
Yeah.
The race for the top honours though is not over. Just catch their glimpse of them in the foreground as Maya Simpson continues in third with about a lap and a half remaining. Daniel Hartley has still got Bella Fairclough right on his rear bumper. These two have battled like this pretty much the whole season.
Yeah. It's going to take quite possibly a mistake, I think. I think they're too evenly matched at this stage of the race now for...
I think so too.
The battle for third still rages. Look, Maya still going hugely defensive into the first chicane there. Will she jink to the right again? Yes, she does.
Yeah, she does. She defends. And Davis. Yeah, Davis there tried to poke his nose up the inside, didn't he?
Absolutely not deterred by defensive tactics, was he there?
No, he did try. Meanwhile, I think the front of the field with Daniel Hartley putting in a fastest lap of the race last time by a 44.98 the first and only driver into the 44 second lap times.
Yeah, he's gapped Fairclough convincingly, has he now?
He's responded, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any change for third, fourth and fifth as well as the leader comes through Beavers and across the line to take the checkered flag.
Yep.
And a second heat win for Daniel Hartley. He'll maximum score for Daniel Hartley in the heats. Bella Fairclough second, Maya Simpson third, Tyler Davis fourth, Ellis Daly fifth, Jake Anders sixth, Laurie McVeigh seventh, Lewis Gilbert eighth, ninth was Joseph Mills, and Thomas Butcher is the driver that rounds off the top 10. Alex Lynn, another drive and another almost matches his first heat with a drive from 24th to 11th this time.
Solid
he went from 24th to 10th in heat one.
Yep.
And Eddie Stewart there on the 45 coming through in 12th. Where was Alfie Forrester? He made his way up to 21st, so this is not going to be a good points haul for Alfie Forrester going into tomorrow.
I certainly fancy that second place in the championship is going to be under threat.
Yeah, I think so. I think Maya Simpson is going to, and Ellis Daly is going to be potentially going to take that second place in the championship, and maybe if they continue into the 25 season, 2025, we'll see them carrying a seeded number. No question. So our penultimate heat of the day is coming next, and that's for the Honda Cadets. Just getting up on my screen, just reminding ourselves how that first heat for Honda Cadets finished. And remember, the championship leader, Ryan White, had a nightmare of a start.
Yeah.
and going from the front of the field all the way down, ending up in 12th as a recovery drive. Lost 8 places, actually. Started 4th, ended up 12th.
Yeah, he picked his way through nicely, didn't he? Decisive moves through the field. And where did he finish in the end? It was 12th, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was right down the back, wasn't he, I think, at one point?
Yeah, recovered to 12th. Ricky Junior McIntosh took the first heat win in fine style, just over 2 well, it's a quarter of a second that from Archie Loveridge, who had just under half a second from the Oak Plate holder Ralphie Branscombe. Riley Blakemore was 4th, Ed Spain 5th. Ed Spain taking a lot of points and hauling a lot of points back towards Ryan White, so he'll be happy with that. Ivanov was 6th, Archie Cannon 7th, and then Jaden Patel Scott with a great drive to 8th, and kept Daniel Barton honest, didn't he, all the way to the end. Jane Prakash was the driver that rounded off the top 10. So remember, from time qualifying, it's exactly the same grid order that they will have started on in the first heat. So it's the same grid order. So we start in exactly the same formation with Riley Blakemore on the pole from Ralphie Branscombe, Ricky Junior McIntosh on the second row with Ryan White. He'll want to have a completely different race that he did in Heat 1. Archie Loveridge shares row 3 with Kevin Ivanov. Archie Cannon and Ed Spain share row 4. Row 5 is Jack Wicks and Ronnie Smart. Row 6 is Noah Clark and Jane Prakash. Jaden Patel Scott and Daniel Barton share row 7. Row 8 is Dino Rowlands and Jacob Letherby. Noah Clare and Ollie Knox are on row 9, and then row 10, Ella Dixon and Jerry Dufficy. We've then got Sophie Morris and Finley Thursfield, and then from 23rd down, Harley Bradbury Stretton, Stanley Gill, Jerry Dufficy and James Pearson. Standing start, remember. So standing start it will be for our Honda Cadets, and I think Ryan White scoring low in that first heat will sort of disadvantage, well, not sort of, it will disadvantage him going into the super heats tomorrow. So I don't know where that's going to put him on the grid. So Ryan will want to absolutely maximise his finishing here.
Oh yeah, definitely. He will be thinking of nothing else except for get to the front and stay there as best as he can, or at least definitely after what happened in the last heat, stay out of trouble, because another heat like that, Joe, and that's going to cause all sorts of issues potentially for tomorrow.
Yeah, and the knock-on effect of that, of course, is the fact that the championship points, when we get a chance to sit down and work them out, we'll see what effect that has had.
And that's it. So here we go then. What is this? Penultimate race of the day now, isn't it, already? Where has it gone? And as you said, it's a standing start for the Honda Cadets. Of course, they're on the Dunlop tyre, aren't they, actually? I was just reading.
You just read that?
I did. I just read that. That was good England.
Yeah, Dunlop tyres.
A bit different from what I'm used to, isn't it? Whether it's the Maxxis Sports that we see so often in categories now, or the Mojos you see quite frequently.
Yes. Yeah, I think Dunlop. So the Honda Cadet 200s are the last remaining vestige of using the Dunlop tyres, to be honest. Micromax on Dunlops as well.
I think so. That's what I've got on my note.
Am I thinking that might have changed?
Could be right. I don't know.
No, it says Dunlop.
Yeah, Dunlops as well.
I think that might have changed though in April.
All right.
I'll check that out.
I'll do some digging later.
Yeah, we just need to pop our head outside, because I think we've got some Micromax drivers out there. Right now, though, it's all about the Honda Cadets.
It is.
It's all about Ryan White, that number 1, clawing back some points. He took a win in rounds 1 and 2. He had a 4th in round 3, and again a 2nd place podium at Rowra in round 4. Ed Spain, 2nd in round 1, 4th, 5th, and a 1st place win at the last round at Rowra. 3rd on the podium was Archie Cannon at Rowra, and Archie Cannon starting 7th. So all the championship protagonists are there or thereabouts at the front.
Look how far back Riley Blakemore is from the front of his box, his grid box.
Yeah, that's our pole position man as well, isn't it, Blakemore?
Who's letting himself start 2nd, apparently.
Yeah, well, he's certainly got his nose behind the O-plate holder,
Yeah.
Ralphie Branscombe.
And that will make a difference in the short run to turn 1.
Oh, it doesn't, though.
Away they go.
It did, though, because Branscombe, from the second place grid, has almost got it. No, he didn't. I don't know what happened there, but he lost out massively going into the braking area.
I think Rolly Blakemore having the inside.
Yeah. Not quite sure what happened there. If I don't know what happened there, because he just threw the brakes on, and he lost 2 places.
He has.
And that has allowed Riley Blakemore on the number 68 into the lead from pole position, and will lead into Ashton's for the first time.
Yeah, and just trying to see. Oh, he's in second, isn't he? It is Ralphie. Is it Ralphie Branscombe in the lead? I can't see.
We'll see in a moment, because they're going to come underneath us.
I think it's Ricky Junior McIntosh in front, actually. As we cross the line, it is indeed Riley Blakemore second, Ralphie Branscombe in third. What happened at that start?
I'm not sure what happened to Ralphie Blakemore there, because he was leading. Now we're 3 wide for second place going into the hook. Whoa. And Blakemore on the 68 ends up all the way off on the grass and into the tyres. Pole position driver Blakemore. He was squeezed out to the outside. I don't know what was going on there.
Ryan White on the inside, pushed them 3 wide.
Yeah, there was another kart there that was on his inside.
Kevin Ivanov in the middle there.
Yeah, and he's out. He's out. He's out of the cart. The cart is buried into the tyres on the outside of the hook.
Disastrous start.
He's not out. He's back in the cart. His cart has been recovered.
And off he goes.
And Blakemore will recover and continue. However, he's in another postcode. He's so far behind.
It is, and that's going to have massive connotations now, isn't it, for the points and where he'll start tomorrow for the Super Finals.
Into and out of the first chicane for the third time then is Ricky Junior McIntosh from Ralphie Branscombe, Archie Cannon, Archie Loveridge, Ryan White, Ned Spain 5th and 6th, Noah Clark 7th, Kevin Ivanov 8th, Jaden Patel Scott in 9th, and Jack Wykes rounding off the top 10, but it's very much our Heat 1 winner, Ricky Junior McIntosh, who's leading Heat 2.
Yeah, it is. We've got the 2 zip carts, 3rd and 4th. So it's a little bit of a Constantino going on there, isn't it? Up 4th down to 8th place. A bit of a gap at the front, I'd say. But how long will that last? Seconds, most likely, I think. I always tend to prove us wrong.
Well, I would. You've said it now.
I know.
Are you a betting man?
Not anymore. No,
yeah.
I'm retiring from that today.
Yeah, it's probably best not to even go anywhere near
there's
a
going to be action. No, quite. There's going to be action, and that's the only thing I can guarantee.
I'm sure there's something that's morally and ethically wrong with betting on children racing
yes.
karts. Here we go then, side by side into the second chicane. A little bit of gesticulation going on, and a little bit of a coming together. Ricky Junior McIntosh banged wheels with Ralphie Branscombe. I think that was more of a misjudgment than anything malice.
I was going to say, he's gone to tuck in, not quite realised how close he was to Ralphie Branscombe, who's just taken the lead. But everybody's fine, and they live to fight for another day.
Yeah, Branscombe on the yaw plate now has to slot in to that lead very nicely ahead of Ricky Junior McIntosh, and already pulling a bit of a gap.
Yeah.
He's pointing at his helmet, which means let's work together. Don't try and take the lead off me.
Yes.
And that way I can build up my lead so I'm not challenged by anyone other than you.
And
so I can never really understand what tapping your helmet sort of means to these
You see it a lot in motor racing now, don't you? There's a yellow flag out in the second chicane, so I don't think we're going to see anything here. I don't know what that is for, though. I can't see anything.
Right, let's see if we can spot anything on the cameras. No, but there was a yellow flag, so no overtaking. That has not stopped the 2 at the front working together and pulling a gap. Just look at that. That's exactly what Ralphie Branscombe was meaning. Let's work together, let's pull a gap, and then we can breathe a little. Ricky Junior McIntosh doing exactly that. However, I'm not really sure whether Ricky Junior McIntosh has got anything in the toolkit to get that lead back, to be honest, because Branscombe is absolutely on a charge.
And that's it, another hand waving by Ralphie Branscombe there, but I just wonder if Ricky Junior McIntosh even cares. I rather fancy he's going to look for the lead and try and get away. Well,
remember, everybody watching at home, these drivers can see exactly how much time's left on the clock.
Yes.
Every time they come by the start-finish line, there's a big digiboard. At the moment, it's got 2 minutes and 12, 11, 10, and they can easily see that, so they can time their runs. They know how far away the checkered flag is, and that's how quick Branscombe's going, because he's using all of the road and more through the elbow.
Almost on the cusp of being ragged, I would say. But that's Ricky Junior McIntosh straight on the back of his kart again. But we've seen so many times as they come out of the Beavers' final corner here that he gets to him right at the last minute on the chicane, but can't do anything about it because he's run out of road.
He's right on his bumper through and out of the first chicane.
Yeah, is he going to jinx it?
He's having a look, isn't he? The pink helmet of Branscombe just looked over his shoulder there.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah, he was thinking.
Not today.
Yeah, let's just work together. In third place, we've kind of neglected to mention Archie Loveridge. It is in third with Archie Cannon, the two Archies, third and fourth. Loveridge and Cannon. Then Ed Spain ahead of Ryan White. That's got championship connotations if it stays like that. Ryan White ahead of Kevin Ivanov. And then running off the top 10, Noah Clark, Jaden Patel, Scott and Jack Wicks.
And I do believe Riley Blakemore has parked it. He's showing us 2 laps down, so I rather fancy he's called it a day.
Ah, that is a shame. So something was damaged on that kart for Blakemore.
Possibly. I mean, the angle he went in, it could so easily be a steering rod or even the column itself. But I've just spotted another factor in this leading scrap. Could be traffic as they are closing on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is Daniel Barton, I believe it is, just ahead of them. He's just about to cut. There he is, nipping through the chicane on your screen. Will they get there? Will he be playing a part? Will he play a part? There you go, it's in there somewhere. In the outcome of this race.
We will see as they come through the elbow and then into the Ashton's hairpin. There is 20 seconds on the clock to get through and in and out of the arena and through Beavers and across the line. I think they're going to do that comfortably, relatively speaking, as they go through the left-hander now. They'll cross the line with seconds on the clock, which means 2 more laps. And the Ralphie Branscombe cheekily keeps tapping his helmet to Ricky Junior McIntosh, and that means let's work together. Do not challenge me. We've got a gap pulled that is big enough for Ricky Junior McIntosh, who's gone down the inside, but the switchback made by Branscombe there. And even though for a moment there Ricky Junior McIntosh was in the lead, we will never know that, Gaz, because it won't appear on the lap chart.
No, it was if you blink you miss it type thing. But again, that goes to show, doesn't it? As much as Ralphie Branscombe's tapping his helmet, Ricky Junior McIntosh just wants to take that lead and go.
Well, Ricky Junior McIntosh disagrees. He thinks, no,
Absolutely.
we pulled a big enough gap between us and Archie Loveridge. And there it was, textbook on the inside. However, he couldn't stop the car breathing out to the outside. And Branscombe, cool as you like, just stuck on the inside and did the switchback. Yes, that is a back marker, Gaz. And I think they're going to be tripping over him soon.
Yeah, and it's the final lap. I just saw the blue flag on the gantry to my right in the box. It's is he going to jump out of the way? Yes, he has.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Heads up driving.
Yeah, that's it.
Heads up driving from Daniel Barton, who gets out the way of the leaders.
Not so much Archie Loveridge.
Not so much the third place, now then, we're coming down to the final few corners of this Fulbeck circuit for our leader, Ralphie Branscombe.
It's going to be moving to here, isn't it, if you can do it?
It's not. No, he hasn't got it.
Although,
side by side out of Ashton's, but no. The momentum was all about Branscombe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it took a slightly different line, I think, and then that slightly wider, more shallow approach just kept him in the lead.
Across the line then to take the checkered flag, and the second heat for the Honda Cadets is Ralphie Branscombe. Ricky Junior McIntosh has a first and second place, which he will be delighted with. Archie Loveridge third, Kevin Ivanov fourth, Ryan White fifth. He'd be happier with that. Archie Cannon sixth, Noah Clark seventh, Ed Spain eighth, Jaden Patel's got another top 10 finish for young Jaden, with Jack Wykes in 10th place. That is your remaining finishers there. The last finisher on track was Daniel Barton, and we had Riley Blakemore go out after 4 laps after that incident coming out of the hook.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is when you're on the outside, you run out of room very quickly, and especially you had Ryan White on the inside. I think it was Kevin Ivanov in the middle who had nowhere to go. It was just one of them, wasn't it, really?
It'll be Ricky Junior McIntosh on the pole position for the Super Heats. It'll be Ralphie Branscombe alongside, by my calculations, and maybe the second row will see Archie Loveridge, who had a second and a third place finish. And so it will be Ricky Junior McIntosh the privateer, it says on the entry list. That will start tomorrow's superheat on that pole position. We move very swiftly on to our final heat of the day. It's the Junior Rotax heat. It was Marcel Poppercull who led home a Cato Motorsport 1-2 from the championship leader and current champion, I've got to say, the 2023 Junior Rotax champion, Kasper Tomaszewski, was in second place. Poppercull currently 6th in this year's series, so it will be another seeded number for him next year if he so chooses. Andrew Dixon for X-Kart was 3rd. Oliver Fabricius for Bradley Shepherd Racing, the BSR driver, finishes in 4th. And then another Cato Motorsport driver was in 5th. Charlie Very for ST Racing was 6th. The grid was exactly as we saw in the first of our heats for Junior Rotax. And it was, of course, the championship leader, Kasper Tomaszewski, who started from the pole position. Are we seeing any rain out there? I've just noticed our starter has put a long raincoat on.
Well, we'll just check the official puddle we have outside the
window.
window.
Yeah. Our rain gauge.
It certainly is, and I can't see anything, so I rather fancy, if anything, it's probably a little bit breezy out there, but Junior Rotax Heat 1. What a great showing by from Poppercull that was.
Yeah,
two
brilliant.
very decisive manoeuvres, wasn't it,
well,
into Ashton's.
It was the first time we saw that move at Ashton's. Now that's become a bit commonplace.
It's the thing.
In that Junior Rotax, either Primo or this class.
Yeah.
So we have Cato Motorsport and X-Kart sharing the front row with Kasper Tomaszewski and Andrew Dixon. They are your drivers. Second row is Callum Gosh and Marcel Poppercull. Charlie Very for ST is on the third row of the grid with James Kell, second of our X-Kart drivers. And then we've got Braith Murdoch and Oliver Fabricius for Bradley Shepherd Racing, sharing row 4. Row 5 is Emily Cooper and Lewis Sumner. Lewis Holt and Gregor Reid share row 6, with Harry Hurst Grover, the number 2, the current vice champion, on row 7 with Aidan McDonald. Riley Morgan and Leighton Kelly share row 8. Row 9 is Max Horlock and Archie Doherty. Elliot Foster and Aston Brown are row 10, with row 11 rounded off by Molly Pugh and Joshua Jarvis.
So here we go then, final race of the day. If it's as good as the first one we saw, this should be
it should be a cracker.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll see Poppercull certainly push again for that win. He did a great job in the first heat. Tomaszewski did well, didn't he? He finished second overall, didn't he? I think it was. Or did he cross line in third? I've forgotten. But
who's that, sorry?
Tomaszewski.
He's second.
He was second, wasn't he? It was a Cato 1 too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, so much has happened, I've forgotten.
Oh, mate, don't even try to remember. There's so much happening.
I know, yeah.
Every time, every round of the Kart Championship in 2024 has been absolutely outstanding. We've got a bit of a pull away from Tomaszewski, who's kind of...
They're going to wave him around,
I'm not sure whether that was decided beforehand, but Dan Ashton holds the finger of authority there to tell the drivers they've got another lap to get some heat into these tyres. What's our rain gauge doing? No, still no rain?
Our rain gauge is fluttering in the breeze.
Is it really?
Yes.
Just no splashes, no ripples?
No.
The pace, Tomaszewski has gone off on this pace lap. Will get plenty of heat into those tyres.
Yeah.
Plenty of heat into the brakes, which he'll need going into that first chicane.
Yeah, and as we alluded to earlier on, Joe, isn't it? If they've got ever so slightly different tyre pressures, we'll see Sunby Bolt at the start if they've got a slightly softer compound in air, and the other guys on a slightly harder tyre will appear at the end. We'll see how it shakes out, won't we?
Yeah, absolutely. They're into the arena already. Nice pace now.
Much better, isn't it?
Yeah, nice and controlled. Let's see if it's controlled enough for Dan Ashton's liking as we come out of the arena through the left-hander and into the view of our starter.
Lovely.
The pace is quickening up. He sometimes doesn't
is,
like that, but he gets them away.
Let them go.
And into the first chicane. It's the X-Kart driver on the inside, Andrew Dixon, who just fell foul of something there. We just lost him there.
I think he has tumbled down to the back of the field, Jay.
I think he did too. He just went off our camera there at the moment we needed it.
Yeah, but
and that's allowed Tomaszewski a massive lead.
Yeah, and is that...
Charlie Very.
It is, isn't it? He's come through the field a bit, hasn't he? Where was he at the start?
Charlie Very was down in fifth.
Yeah, so whatever's happened has certainly broken the field up a little bit, hasn't it? I mean, look at that, Tomaszewski.
It is Tomaszewski in the lead, isn't it? 220. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
you can tell by the helmet.
Yeah.
Tomaszewski out of Beavers now, and he will have a huge lead in
least
relative terms,
surely,
of course.
Yeah.
Charlie Very, Marcel Poppercool, Fabricius, Callum Gosh, James Kell, Braith Murdoch, Lewis Sumner. Where is Andrew Dixon? Is 21st. So I think he actually spun off in that first chicane.
Now I could just see something in the back of the shot there, turning themselves around.
He went out of sight, didn't he, behind the barrier?
I was going to say it looked like an X-Kart, and I rather fancy it was Andrew Dixon. Bit of a shame from the front. That's not what you want, is it?
Let's see if Poppercool can get by the pesky ST Racing driver Charlie Very in that yellow and blue kart and make it a Kato 1-2 again. This time the rules are reversed as Tomaszewski leads. Tomaszewski's going to be a hard man to catch. However, Charlie Very and Marcel Poppercool allowing these two to use the slipstream of two karts. The physics of this, guys, is two karts will go faster down the straight than one.
Yeah.
It's kind of making a bigger hole in the air, so to speak. And we will see these two gaining, and ending up on the rear bumper of Tomaszewski in the lead.
Yeah, I was going to say it was evident as Poppercool set the fastest lap of the race, and then he didn't, because James Kell took it off him instead.
Yeah, it always catches you out.
But I tell you what, Joe, 2.3 seconds back to fourth already. That whatever happened at the start, that was really split these guys up, and they're pulling a pace, aren't they? Because they are breaking away very quickly.
Yeah, it is 2.3 to Fabricius.
Yeah,
in fourth.
Cross line we go again though, and it's still Tomaszewski. The gap is coming down, I would say. Charlie Very's pulling him. He has pulled him in, hasn't he? He's bringing Poppercool with him.
It was 4/10 at the line. It's not 4/10 by the time they get to the hook.
It's really not, is it?
Now, 1, 2, and 3, pretty equidistant now, and the race is on.
Yeah.
And Charlie Very, we know he knows how to win races. He was second at round 3 at his home track at Warden Law. He's second home track at Rowra. I might have those around the wrong way for Charlie, but he took the win at Rowra in fine style, and here he is looking very racy indeed.
Yeah, and I think I just clocked in the background. James Calder stopped with Oliver Fabricius.
Stopped, did you say? Or overtook?
Swap places.
Swap places, sorry.
I don't know, I forgot what I said already. But still at the front. Oh, look at that beautiful
you're right.
slide.
You're right, by the way. James Kell.
Yeah, I thought I saw it coming out of the hook as I looked out our window. But the front three, still absolutely nothing between them. The gap to fourth is still growing a little, I would say. It's up to 2.5 seconds. Charlie Very looking very racy now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pulled away from Poppercool, if anything.
Yep.
He looks like he could have a challenge at Tomaszewski if Tomaszewski's not careful.
Yep.
3.5 minutes gone now, so we're inside the second half of this second and final heat of the day. Two karts going off there. That's Archie Doherty and I think that was Joshua Jarvis, was it, the 232?
Didn't quite catch the number, but they've cleared, so there won't be a yellow flag at the hook. But yeah, we're in the element now where Poppercool's tyres, if it's the same as the Heat 1, will start be coming on now, and we might see a bit more pace from him.
Well, Tomaszewski's pulled out a bit of a stop there, and he's responded, hasn't he? 45.2, 44.88 for James Kell. That's the fastest time of the day so far.
Yeah, he's...
we saw Daniel Hartley pop into the 44s, but not quite as quick as that.
No.
Tomaszewski, though, I'm going to be interested to see his lap time here, guys, because he's pulled a gap now, or he had pulled a gap, and Very's now closed it going into the arena.
He's much quicker, isn't he, through the Ashton's hairpin and into the arena. I mean, the gap opens up now, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's how we...
Coming into turn one.
Let's see what the lap time is.
It's
45.1. 45.14, 45.16. Personal best lap times from both of these leading drivers. However, Tomaszewski slightly quicker than Very. Poppercool 45.18. That's how quick they are. Look at that.
I wonder...
200s between first and second and third.
I wonder if it to be so close. Tomaszewski is just controlling this pace.
44.73 for Braith Murdoch. That's the quickest time of the day so far.
Yeah.
And now we've got Poppercool coming back at Very inside the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's going to be looking for a way by extremely quickly, isn't he? If he wants to win this, he's got to get a move on now, hasn't he, really?
Well,
it's not really close enough, is he?
No, Tomaszewski, I think, just pop that out to somewhere. 44.93 for Tomaszewski, 44.93 for Charlie Very,
I think
44.90 for Popical. That's how close these three are.
Yeah, I think Tomaszewski is definitely controlling this pace. For three drivers to be within hundredths of a second, not tenths, he's controlling this. He's not looking over his shoulder. He's not fussed about where Charlie Very is at the moment, is he? He's just doing his own race and controlling it quite nicely, I would say.
Yeah, with a minute on the clock, they will be inside the minute. It's just how much inside the minute they can be. 44-second lap times. They're going to have enough for 2 more laps after this one.
Yeah.
So 3 more laps remaining as they cross the line. They are now absolutely bumper to bumper going towards the final stages of this heat phase.
Yeah, absolutely. Are we going to see a little jink? No, but not this time round. I thought about it. He was slightly shallower than Charlie Very was Popical, but he's thought better of it this time around. Again, his favourite passing spot, as we've seen, is going to be Ashton. So is he going to repeat that again? I think he probably will. He's looking a lot better this time, isn't he, for position?
He is, but Tomaszewski looking over his shoulder there to see. And there, Very, I thought Very was going to have a look down there.
I mean, he's got nothing to... Well, I say he's got nothing to lose, but...
He has, actually. They've
stand by.
Discretion being the better part of valour at this, the 5th and final round of the championship. You do not want to score no points. You want to score some points.
Absolutely. And again, lap times, absolutely nothing between these leading 3.
Well, they've matched each other's lap time again, 45.01.
Yep.
45.10 for Popical. Popical, keep an eye on Popical. Penultimate lap time coming up here. So we've got 1 more lap after this one, and these 3 have been giving us the body language that they could. Here we go again. What's the body language say? No,
Popical in.
That Popical. Well, you know what? I could see that Popical had something in his pocket, and Very now having to sit in 3rd place will be not happy with that at all.
No, he won't. But again, exemplary move by Popical to take 2nd place. And as we said, didn't we, he's going to come alive towards the end of the race, and he's proven us right, hasn't he?
Yeah, so it's a Cato 1-2. Look at that. We've seen this move. Very.
I really thought Charlie Very was going to go for that instead.
I did, yeah. But again, he slotted back across to the left to maximise his line through Ashton's. Here we go.
Yeah.
2nd chicane for the last time of the day.
He's straight on the back. He's going to go for it here, isn't he?
No, he hasn't got time. No, he needs to be closer than that.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm not sure the arena is a passing place. It's going to need a mistake from Tomaszewski for Popical to repeat what he did in Heat 1.
Yeah.
This time the roles are reversed. It's a Cato Motorsport 1-2 again, but Tomaszewski it is this time to take the win from Marcel Popical this time. Charlie Very 3rd, James Kell 4th, Fabricius in 5th, Braith Murdoch 6th, Callum Gulch, Emily Cooper, Harry Hurst-Grover finishes 9th, and Lewis Sumner rounds off the top 10.
It's true. That was fierce, that wasn't it? That was great racing.
Fabulous race end, fabulous day's racing. We will wind up the broadcast for this afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow morning with our coverage starting at 9 o'clock. We'll be on a little bit earlier than that because the first race starts at 9 o'clock. So I would suggest we'll be with you by about 5 to 9 to give you an idea of who and what is on the grid. For now, me, Joe Bradley, good night from Gaz Bury. Thank you very much, Gaz, for your company. And to Paul and Frank out there in the weather, which has been a bit odd this weekend. But big thanks to Paul and Frank out there for bringing us the pictures. And Nick, who chose what pictures to show you. We'll all be back tomorrow to have as much fun as we can. See you then.